Mọ ìwà fún oníwà lóògùn ọ̀rẹ́.
Leave that in there, fam.
Whose phone was that?
Yours.
Mọ ìwà fún oníwà lóògùn ọ̀rẹ́.
Oh, actually, that is my podcast, Yoruba Proverb. I didn't know they can do that. Didn't even touch
Mọ
it.
ìwà fún oníwà lóògùn ọ̀rẹ́.
This man is telling you several times. Do
Do you know what it means?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects, welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. This is episode 224.
And fat athletes.
224 of season 2. Hashtag ESN pod to join in the conversation on your social medias, and at ESN podcast, find us there. Send all your questions, comments, dilemmas and whatnot to esnpodcast@gmail.com.
And abuse.
Yeah, I know if you've got any abuse, send it there as well. Our inbox is kind of sparse, so help us fill it up. I am your host, Stavros Boss.
Get down.
Welcome. And in the room with me this very night,
Get down.
I have
I do like doing that.
Mr. Wolf.
What's going on, people? Hope everybody's good. I got a Yoruba proverb that was playing. I don't know if this guy is going to edit it in, but I'm going to try my best to actually say it in Yoruba first. Okay. Mo iwa fu oni logun ore. It was kind of like that. That means, and this is a good one for today, accepting each person's particular character with understanding is the lubricant for friendship.
Oh.
What are you saying about that one?
Yeah, I think we should discuss that.
Tolerance is it.
We all like a bit of lube.
Yeah, I know you filthy bastard.
Have it.
But anyway, tolerance is it. Respect others. Give them their spaces. That's this week's Yoruba proverb. You can catch me on Instagram on aka Mr. Wolf, or Twitter on aka_Mr. Wolf. What's going on?
Can we make that our first topic after we go around and do the intros, please?
Okay. You need to talk into your mic because
I am talking into the mic. You never show me respect when we're on the splitter.
we are on the splitter.
Out Big Wahala on Twitter, Big Wahala on Insta.
Let's turn him up, man.
We are on the same thing. He's just not talking into it properly.
You can see me talking into
It's
the
up,
thing.
it's up, it's up.
Hello.
I'll rest my case.
Maybe my mic is not as... my mic control is poor.
Not in the room. You always do that. I keep telling you, stop pointing it up. No, not in the room. Over the phone, we have, but not overseas. Because usually he's overseas when he's over the phone, but he's not overseas. He's just over the phone, but he's in the house. We have DJ Webslinger.
What's going on, people? DJ Webslinger on Instagram, DJ Webslinger on Twitter. What's good?
It's like...
Have it.
Also in the room with us, we have big man, Simple Simon.
Me now talk today, no. Play it.
Oh, just play.
That's why I was asking for it.
Bad man out and stunting. Kyle them tick like dumpling. Girl with big body jumping. Action ready for the thumping. Fresh like Portland, Juvie just cast at the boat now. Just calculate the total. Now the money make me get antisocial. Man straight like my pants them. Pussy got the weed and the blem. Girl I come cross bring a friend. And them I feel like for me friend them.
Yes. It is I, Simple Simon.
You know people are going to be vexed that you come back and you just play the song. You didn't do your whatever you do.
It is I, Simple Simon, of the House Gaza, first of his name. Grandson to Granny Ranks. Son to the Gaza gods. Father to the Stepping Razor. Husband to Auntie Funke. Back in the place, what y'all say?
What's going on? I love that shit.
Bang.
That's a banger, you know that.
Ready for the thumping, you know.
I don't know if that.
love
I don't
that.
know if that song came out properly enough for Carnival, but it should have mashed down Carnival. That song.
That's the song's a bad boy song. It's a bad boy
Style
song.
OG, yeah.
Yeah.
Style OG dumpling.
Ready for the thumping.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. I don't have Instagrams. Gaza always say forever. Bang.
All right, that sweet, succulent voice that you heard earlier on is our beautiful, wonderful guest.
Succulent, you know.
What is poppin'?
I forgot your name all of a sudden.
Wow.
Courtney.
Hurricane Courts. I don't know. It makes me sound like a bad dude.
Did we give her that?
Yeah.
We did,
Yes,
didn't it?
you
Because you came in there
absolutely
like a Tasmanian devil and
And
this
it was-
hurricane up the place and left.
For real.
I am the bully.
Not really.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Right.
Absolutely.
Bully, you know.
I am.
Out and bad.
Yes. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kourt Wills.
Mm.
All right, with a K.
Yeah, with a K. I should mention that. KourtWils.
You take nice pictures on your Insta, you know.
Thanks.
And
I
your
made the
friends.
effort.
And
Do you
and
know
your
what's
girls.
funny?
Mm.
Had this conversation
Go on.
off the cuff, didn't I? Because I know they're going to listen. Pagans. Definitely
I
had
can't sign that. I can't sign that.
definitely had this conversation about Instagram and real life.
And what? Saying what? You
So my conclusion was that people are perverts because they like the holiday pictures, but then the pictures where you're modestly dressed, the light's decrease.
You know what you reckon?
That's not perfect.
That's not what I reckon. That's facts.
I don't use Instagram, but if it's the case that I see you all the time, right? And there's nothing special in what you're showing me, your normal everyday pics, then why would I like it? But when you're on holiday, I might like it because you've seen that you're on holiday, you're doing your best
Living your
life,
life.
and blah, blah. So I might like, oh, look at Courtney, like.
Yes.
But I might, no, I'm not yassing.
Go
But I might just
off.
like you. But I might not like you because you claim you're going to Tesco in your glad rags. What am I liking that
Do you know
for?
what? Your point actually makes sense.
You see it
which
there?
is really disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to prove a point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So I would expect to get more likes on things that involve me doing some form of activity than just me doing what
See,
I'm
this
doing.
is why I come here, because off the cuff couldn't give me a reason.
That's because them man are greasy. I know
They-
that. Them man know why they're liking. That's why.
They told me to
Apart
keep
from
on showing
Foles is-
collarbone. That's what they said. Shock. I know, guys.
They said what, sorry?
Awful.
Keep on showing collarbone.
Keep showing collarbone.
I'm saying though, if you want to A/B test it properly, you have to kind of do holiday garments in your UK on Instagram and see whether you get
That's
like.
very crazy. Have you seen
It's
the
mad.
weather?
It's mad, but that's the only way you can really say, okay, it's location.
I don't think it's location.
I think one thing that I'll say that's
People
pervert.
come up from Instagram and Twitter and all them things. There's a lot of beautiful black women in the UK. A
Standard.
lot of them, man.
Agreed.
Standard.
A lot of them, man. I don't know why people seem to go like they can't find gal because there's enough of them out there, boy.
Because they're trash.
Or maybe.
Your one day is not one of the beautiful ones, actually.
Oh,
What? I love you
my
one day.
God.
She's too dark, isn't it?
She's really-
Wow.
I don't know why he likes to poke the bears. There's no reason to
He
poke.
loves to do it.
He knows like you one day, man.
He's trying to incite a war.
Don't let him tell you nothing, but he likes some Scottish as well. Don't let him tell you nothing as well.
I don't because I didn't watch the program. I don't really hear her. I've never.
She's Scottish. Well, she's got
She's
a little.
Irish.
They're the same thing, blood.
No, it's not. One is across a sea. You need to behave.
They're all the same.
Has she
thing.
got bottom?
A little bit, yeah.
She's gorgeous.
She's
She's
a very-
intelligent.
very pretty.
She's a
Gorgeous.
scientist.
Yeah. Does
She's
she have
she's
bottom?
very in.
She's
proportion.
intelligent. She speaks well.
She's got 2 degrees, fam.
Yeah.
Does she have bottom?
She handles herself well.
and she goes from-
Bottom is
and the
not
thing about it,
everything.
yeah.
did you
she
just
goes
say
from-
she speaks well?
She does speak well.
She goes from Irish accent to Niger accent like that. Like when you.
Oh, I haven't witnessed that.
Oh
yet.
no, because when she came out, she met her mum. Then she went from hi, my name's Andy to suddenly I was like,
Oh, she can speak Yoruba.
yes.
That's a good thing to be able to
She
speak
was
your
in there,
mother
mate.
tongue.
Her and her mum, I was like, yes. I said yes.
Y'all are haters.
That's such a sexy thing, man.
No, man, we like her. I like you one day. Anyway,
I like
she's-
you one
I got
day.
time for you one day.
Can you speak your language?
No.
Have we seen
We
this
had
girl
this
since- yeah, we
conversation
did,
the
we
last
did,
time
we
I
did.
came.
No, you speak is it Sean or
You
Rosa?
lot actually. We had this conversation the last time I came.
I know,
Do you
but
know what? I know that
what
you've
TV
got.
you say where it is.
I know that you've got listeners from Zimbabwe. So
Yeah.
they're gonna run up on your timeline.
No, but it's we got the Dembele from Zimbabwe. We know who we are.
I hope so.
Dembele, you know.
Yeah. So and you are.
Just have to make sure.
And what language did you say you're
There was
speaking?
a few of them.
There was a few. Yeah, there was a
okay,
few.
She's a mix.
You're the only person that remembers the conversation.
Because
Do you
I care.
remember?
It must be the old age setting in.
Oh wow.
Sorry,
I'm one of the
fellas.
oldest, so
Yeah, he is.
and my
Well,
memory is no good.
I'm getting old, boy.
Wow.
I just remember that still.
No, because I actually listened back to that episode because it was such a fire one.
It was
It was one of our.
I enjoyed that episode a lot.
Yeah.
So
What, the last one?
the last one she was in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Webs, are you using your camera? I just need to know.
Am I using my camera? Why?
Because I keep hearing something.
It's like ringing.
He's watching.
Okay.
He's watching porn on on Tumblr or something.
I don't know. I'm not paying attention to him. I'm just talking to him like he's not there.
Sorry, before we get into any topics, I just remembered, I need to shout out a man like Wavy, you know. Wavy done.
Yeah, Wavy came and smashed the thing last week.
My brother.
Yeah, he did.
I saw your man with lyrics, my brother.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, because you weren't there, innit?
You're right there, my morning, my brother.
Big up Wavy,
Jeez. Hey, yes, big up your
I got
station,
messages
yeah?
sent to my phone. People like, that's the best intro I've ever heard.
That was so
On
good.
ESN.
Big up Wavy.
Did you hear?
Bad.
No, I didn't hear it.
Wavy came
Who
and
is
he spat
Wavy
2
K?
bars. So Wavy's from Not Everyday Podcast. So he came on last week and he said that, we're one of his pod idols. So we, that's the best way. Pod idols.
You don't need to add that bit on.
I wanted him to know that they're so he said, you know what, I'll come on here. Last time I came here, I don't think I showed you the respect.
He was quiet on his first visit.
So he said, I got something for you. And then he just spat bars and I'm like,
Pure
"Rah."
bars, pure
Wow.
bars.
I was like, is that his man is going
And he
on?
mentioned every single one of us in
Yeah,
his bars.
Webbs,
Wow.
mute yourself, bruv.
Yeah, you have to mute him, man, because you're doing something. Yeah.
Unless you're talking,
That's
mute.
I'm not doing anything.
But we can hear you,
It's
so
still
just mute
making a
yourself,
noise. When you're not talking, mute yourself, bro.
The internet's ringing.
I bet it's on the loudspeaker.
Yeah, his
That's what it is.
thing was wicked, Mr.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Wavy.
That's pretty
Simple
cool. So you
Simon
had like a
shouting
fire
you
in the
out.
booth
Yeah,
intro.
in a way.
It was mad. It was mad. And he was tight as well.
And
That's it.
I have to salute Steph because he did actually mix in Charlie Slough in the background as well.
Ooh.
Like a bad man.
I tried my best.
did
Hostess
your
with
intro.
the mostess.
Sorry?
Hostess.
And thank you, Mo, from last week as well.
Yeah, big up Mo.
For saving us. Even though I didn't get to record until 6 hours before the podcast was meant to be live.
Yikes.
Oh, because you sent it.
I mean, sorry,
But
not record,
sometimes
edit.
pressure makes diamonds. You heard that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pressure makes
and
diamonds.
They
you
also
do-
bust pipes.
You do look like carbon. No, I'm joking.
You just might want to squeeze stab and just get a diamond out, boy. There's one teeth that's drop out with a diamond.
Back, bitches.
He looked like a
All right,
piece
then.
of coal, man.
All right. So let's go.
Give it to me.
Let's go into the proverb. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's discuss this because it's a true thing in it.
Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah. Say it in the English though.
Yeah, I'll do it in English.
You're about that.
Un momento.
But because I think it's an interesting topic to start.
Where are
with.
we? Okay. Accepting each other's peculiar character with understanding is the lubricant for friendship.
So going off that,
Lubricant.
how much do you feel? And this includes you, Courtney, obviously. Do you feel that you go out of your way to accept the things that you dislike about your friends to continue your friendship with them?
Oh.
Well, we already know Stav hates me all the time.
Because
But you're not
women,
friends.
because women sometimes,
Right.
What
He
are
took
we
it straight
saying?
to the gender.
Oh, yeah,
Standard.
I
I
know.
didn't bring up
Gender
a gender. I did.
bias. Do you know what it is? I think when I was younger, I had more patience. But as I get older, there's some things which I realize actually the reason why you still do it is because you've been getting away with it.
Oh shit.
So until someone checks your bad behavior or checks your not so good traits and stuff to say actually like that's not a good trait to have or this is bad behavior, you shouldn't be doing it, they're never going to learn. So when I was younger, I would keep quiet and let things slide. So for example, I had a friend who was always late, always. There was not one time that I can remember being on time.
Wow.
And when we were younger, it was a joke. It was like, haha, yeah, you're always late, always late. As you get older, you're like, right, like being late actually isn't cute. Like it's not a good look. It's a bad habit to get into in like early in life. So as we got older, it's like really need to stop being late. Really. But it became hard because then it was like, well, you haven't had a problem with it before. So why now all of a sudden? So for me, I think now I
Is that
kind
man or
of
woman?
It's a person.
It was a female. But I think now I'm kind of quicker to check bad behavior. I'm less tolerant of it. I just say, do you know what? That's actually not a good look. Or that's not a good trait.
The thing about lateness is that I don't think people understand that it's a respect thing. Like, you're respecting somebody else's time. Like, you've established that you're meant to be at a place at a particular time. And it's okay if you're late, every so often or once in a while. But from time that you're late all the time,
Constantly,
it's like you just don't respect my time. And then there's times when you come up with this line like, I'm going to be late. So why would you get there on time?
Yeah,
like people come with that lyric and
That's
like, what
always
kind
strange.
of disrespectful thing is that?
Yeah.
If you know that me and you are meant to be meeting at a particular time, I expect you to be there on time or at least have the common decency to let me know you're going to be running late.
Shout out Webbs.
Yeah.
But Webbs is one of those people. And
Stop, take us off speaker, bro.
because I know he's going to be late, I don't actually expect him to be on time.
But that's not
if
good
he's on time,
though.
then I'm surprised.
But that's how those people get comfortable with those habits. So you
But
can
it's-
relate it
it's
to any
comfortable.
habit. So if you have a friend, for example, who borrows money off of you and then says, "Oh, I'll give it back to you. I'll transfer it as soon as I get home," and then you're waiting days. But then it's like you shouldn't feel like you need to ask for the money back because they said they were going to give it back to you. So why should I now have to chase you to get my money back?
Yeah, shout out Webbs. It's the same thing, man.
What the fuck? Hey,
The
fuck that, bro. I'm not.
You're not
that's
in the
not
The
me.
longer
Don't
you
even
leave
listen
it
to
or
No, that's
that.
not
Don't
Webbs.
besmirch me.
That's not Webbs. Well, for
Thank
me,
you, Wahala.
not for me. 'Cause
I
we
don't
had
know. I feel like if you leave it, they're gonna carry on doing it.
I was your friend, the recipient of your feedback.
What, when it was addressed?
Yeah.
It was
or
like, oh,
any
well.
or any of them.
Like, why are we in a rush? Oh well, we don't need to be in a rush. It's not running anywhere. It's okay. Like, it's fine. It's not that late.
Is this a recent activity?
No.
or
This has been this was ongoing for years.
How about something recent? Have you had to speak to one of your girls or your
About
guys
timekeeping?
recent? Nah, just
Nah.
anything that you're not happy about in terms of their character.
What about you, bro?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay.
I think now, as I'm older, I kind of nip it in the bud when it happens, and maybe that's why it hasn't happened so often. Like, I've not had an issue with anyone so often now, because it's kind of like, you did this and it irritated me at the time, and then you deal with it, you get over it. But I don't know, I'm less tolerant to people's stuffs now. I'm kind of like, that's a problem.
Okay. Go on, Big Wahala. You were going to ask something.
No, I was gonna say, what about you?
Me?
Yeah.
What about me?
Do you feel like you're tolerant to people, any of your particular friends? Is there anything that you feel like you have to be tolerant towards for you to continue this friendship, or do you think that you're just good with how it is for us? How things are going.
I think that I have an issue with being tolerant with bad behavior, and then it hasn't happened in a while, but it gets to a point where I can't take shit no more, and then I would either completely shut down, literally just like allow it, and just my silence will be enough for you to read that there's an issue, or I would wild out. So it'll be one of the two. Yeah. And I think I will be better served speaking at the moment that I have an issue.
See, I think that perception is a strange thing, because I see you as an extremely tolerant person. Yeah, you said that you just said to you that you wasn't not really tolerant for bad behavior.
I said that that's the issue that I have, is that I am tolerant.
Oh, that you are tolerant for the bad behavior.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I find it often that I see you're the type of person, you're definitely the type of person that will have to be pushed to the point of getting to that point. I think Simple Simon's quite similar as well. I think he's quite tolerant to things that maybe other people are not as tolerant about, which is interesting. So do you feel like you're tolerant do you feel like you have to be tolerant for people's behaviors as friends, or for you to continue your friendship with them?
There might be one or two undesirable things, but there isn't. I wouldn't go as far as to say that is like tolerance is as a principle and a practice is quite a big thing. Because what you're saying basically is whatever it is this action is, or whatever this trait or behavior is of the other person, it offends you. Not enough for you to blow up each time it happens, but enough for you to have a certain feeling about it. So I wouldn't go as far as tolerance in that sense. I would say that there might be one or two ideas or views or what have you that I'm just like, but I wouldn't say that I'm tolerating them person as a friendship. I think if you're starting to tolerate someone as part of a
I'm
friendship,
talking about their aspects though.
yeah, but your work
behaviors,
not them as a whole person. Like, I don't know, like Courtney's one is a really good
they're
example of
undesirable
always
traits.
being late is something that you're tolerating as a friendship. You're tolerating that lateness to continue your friendship. Most people, if it was a case that you wasn't your friend and they was always late, you would just say latest to them.
This is why I don't understand the question, because you're tolerant unless you cut off your friendship, then you're tolerant for what.
Yeah, but what I'm asking, what things do you feel that you are tolerant for? Like, I like the examples.
Oh, okay. I can't think of any.
You can't think of any at all?
I don't know. I feel like the proverb that was said was kind of talking about the differences between you and your friends.
Yeah, that too.
That kind of act as you have to be accepting of the differences between you and your friends, because that's how friendships work.
But then
which I understand that. But if we're talking about like undesirable like traits or like personality, like bits of character, no. I feel like you'll get to a point where it will irritate you so much, like you said, you'll either blow up or you'll just not want to be around them, like you'll distance yourself.
Yeah, but that's part of life, man. That's what happens.
absolutely. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
It's crazy though, because there's some people that don't have arguments at all. Like I've
not argued with. I've got like 3 best friends, and 2 of them I've never argued with. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
There's never been a reason for me to argue with them.
Yeah, I've had a couple of friends that I know.
Oh.
Me and him have known each other for, I don't know, maybe almost 20 something years, 21 years now.
yeah, something like that.
And we might have argued maybe 3 or 4 times. And even the arguments will be like, not proper arguments, it would be a debate over a particular thing. But not necessarily a big full-blown argument. I've never been to a point where I was like, I ain't chatting to Simple.
Yeah.
Because he's done something to me. Or Simple say he ain't chatting to me. It might be something that's offended each other. I'll be like, that's maybe... I don't know if we've even got to that point. Or maybe I have and you wouldn't even have, might not have told me. But I don't think I've got to that point with him where we've actually been angry at one another for something.
But I feel
maybe
like
football.
real maturity in friendships is getting to the point where you realise we're never going to agree on it. So let's just keep it moving. And it is what it is,
He checked me on a character trait once. When we were, a long time ago when we were in college or something.
I can't remember.
He was saying something about, why do you always have to give your opinion? People don't always want your opinion. And I'm like, I'm not giving my opinion. I'm going, yeah, but you do. No one asked for it. It's unsolicited and you always give me your opinion. Why
He
do you
was
do
the
that?
aggressor, yeah?
That sounds like Big Wahala.
It wasn't aggressive with it, but that's what he said. But for me,
I can't remember, you know.
for me, he checked, man.
Maybe you remind me of Stav.
But he then, I don't know, maybe I did, but I could see that it was something that annoyed him, and I was like, this is weird because I don't even feel like I'm doing what he's saying.
No, but it might not have annoyed me. Maybe I saw you do it to somebody, and that person. This is a big problem that I've got, and Stav shows me about this sometimes as well. Like I sometimes take offense for other people that even if they themselves haven't got
That's
the
none
offense.
of your business.
Yeah.
That's none of your business.
Yeah, so maybe I've seen something you've done and it's upset somebody else, and I've seen this upset them. They haven't had to open their mouth to say the thing. So I've maybe said,
Get a load of Superman over here.
So I'm just going to say, so you're saying that Hulk has a cape?
No, I don't have a cape because when it's the other way around, I don't feel that same respect for them. So
Justice Warrior.
it goes only one way in it. But I can't remember saying that about you. I can't remember. I don't remember you even thinking like that.
No, he said it to me. He checked me one time. I was like,
boy, simple. He's not forgotten.
People check my behavior all the time. Anyway.
No, but it's
a good thing. If your friends can't check your behavior, you need new friends.
Yeah, of course.
This is
If
my
you have
point.
friends who are yes men or yes women, you need new friends. I would hate to have people around me who were like, oh no, you were definitely in the right, knowing full well that I was in the wrong.
This is the point. When he said it to me, I was like, nobody else, I don't know anybody else that would have said that.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of fence sitters sometimes though. Some people can take...
Oh, those people irritate me.
It depends on what it is. So like sometimes when me and him are having arguments, they won't take a side. Because it's hard for you to take a side because if you take a side, you're now either escalating it further or you're now then having, especially if it's one of us two, you're now going to have to explain yourself, which is long.
Do you know,
Boy.
with the two of you, it's not so much as taking sides, it's the second point that you made. I just don't want to get involved because it's long. And then on top of that, the both of you, when you do get into your handbags at 10 paces, you get me? You both have good points. You both have a good point each.
Yeah.
But
Satchels at 10 paces, mate.
satchels. Who really wants to get involved?
This is what Mr. Wolf's saying. I'm going to back it. And the reason why I'm going to back it is because what I normally look at with that is they both got good points, but what's the net gain of this? Like, are we going to learn anything from this experience?
That's a fair point.
It's always about point getting, man.
And
Who's got the most points?
And that's it. And when it comes to that, it's like there's no net gain here.
Yeah,
So
there's
I don't
no
even
point.
want to cast a vote in any direction, and I don't want to have to explain my answer.
So
as
because
well.
of that,
We are the Serena
I'm out.
and Venus of
One time.
debating and arguments. And I am Serena Demi because he's the older one.
Well,
Or the bad back. What about you then? What do you feel? Do you feel like you're tolerating a lot of people things to continue your friendships?
Yes. Webbs, what about you?
Wow.
Because for me, that's what you do. That's just life.
Yeah, well, okay, so what things, what aspects?
Just bare things, man.
so you just let everything slide?
Otherwise, I don't talk to you. Innit? If either you're my bedroom and I have to deal with things I don't like, or I don't deal with it. That's it. That's life.
What would make you red card a friendship?
yeah,
She is football analogies.
I like that curveball.
See what
you
I
know?
did there?
I'm gonna,
You're still pagan. Stop
No
watching
VAR.
that pagan sport.
No VAR, mate.
Over the straight red card.
Baseball curveball
Just
right there.
what-
Because there's people I've cut off before for
for-
lies.
Okay,
Sometimes
Yeah.
that would be. Sometimes it will be because let's say I've almost let myself down. Like I've given you too much faith, and then I expected you not to lie. There's some people where it's like I know everyone's gonna lie, but you got to the point where it'd probably be I disappointed myself. I think you would lie about this. I think you would lie about that. For instance, there's somebody that we all know on this table, and I cut them off for lying. And for them, I don't think lying was the biggest deal in the world. I wasn't surprised that they lied. They lie, innit? It's not a big deal. But
I can't think who else.
Don't worry
back in
about
the
it.
day,
Go on.
back in the day,
Go on.
It's a girl, I'm sure.
and the name starts with K as well.
I know what you're talking about.
Wow. It's not me. Disclaimer, it's not me.
Yeah,
it's Courtney, man,
It's
but
not
he's
me.
just...
It's not I.
And the thing that they lied about was such a nonsense. Like, because I knew they lied about this and this and this, and for some reason I accepted that. Maybe because I knew they lie. But the thing that they lied about, you know, some people, they tell you their life story, they'll tell you the things that you would never expect you to even tell people. It's like, wow, you really opened up and you told me this, or you really opened up and you told me that. And then something that's bug simple, you went and lied about. Like, oh, why were you late? Oh, I missed the bus. But you were in the shop chatting to your friend. And instead of saying it's so,
And
For me, it's almost like, was
So-
it lie about banking?
Sorry?
Was it lie about banking?
I don't think so.
They said they didn't bank somebody that they did.
I don't know. But that's the point, is because they lied about that. It wasn't a big deal for me. But I didn't understand why you keep lying to me about the banging, don't it? Because you would tell me, this is the point. You would bang bare people and tell me about bare people, and then lie about one. It's like,
And the one that you'll find out about.
it's not like, I know the type of person you are, innit? We all banged. Everybody was banging, innit? So it's not like,
Wow.
it's not, why wasn't there anybody's laughing? You know he's gonna laugh. So it's like, there was no reason to lie. It's like, if you were trying to keep a squeaky clean image, then it made sense. But you weren't, because I know you, and we knew each other, and you're telling me about Monday. You told me about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So you cut them off for that?
But
Well.
no, I don't. No, it wasn't that situation. I don't remember
It
what
was
it
just
was.
a lie that he didn't appreciate.
It was a lie that, it wasn't the biggest lie. It was the fact that if you could lie about this,
You can lie about anything.
then it's like, should we really be chatting? Because it was a stupid lie. It wasn't a big lie and then if you find out, it'd be like, I get why you lied about that. You're either trying to save face, or you're trying to.
There was no principle behind it.
You're trying to protect some. Yeah, that's
Is there even
that's a
ever
quick way of
principle
putting it.
behind lies?
Sometimes.
Of course, sometimes.
I don't know about
Did
that.
this individual know that you cut them off?
Yeah.
Or did you just ghost them?
No, that's good.
Sam's gonna go out of his way to make sure that you know you don't like it. I'm not talking to you no more. I didn't know. It's not enough to say I'm not talking to you no more. I'll leave it at that. He'll give you the full list of the reason why he's not talking to you no more.
I prefer that though.
No, because you probably prefer if he just didn't talk to you no more.
No,
'Cause that
no.
list is
Stop
long.
talking for everybody else.
At least you know.
Webs.
I'm not talking to you no more.
Webs.
But why?
Webs.
Lie to me.
Wow.
Webs.
God. You've been
Yeah.
looking at the after eights as well? Yeah, oh, mate. Go on,
Are you
man.
look after rates in the building? Are you lot are far crazy?
Yeah, man.
Mr. Wolf, does this proverb apply to relationships as well, though?
Everything, home slash. Everything.
Everything. Yeah. Well, you lot know me, man. I'm the cut-off king, so
Yeah.
Well,
when people piss me off, I'm out, man.
Yeah, but you
It's
cut
too-
people off for no reason.
Yeah, you
fam.
cut people off for
there's
no
no
reason.
there's
such thing
always
as
a-
no
There's
reason.
always a reason.
There's no reason, but you amplify it.
Nah, there's always a reason. You breathe the wrong way, you get cut off, man.
How many people have you cut off in the last 10 years?
Too many, probably.
In the last 10 years. Boy,
And how many of them were actually men? Bare girl, you just
I think I've cut off about 5-6 people.
I saw one the other day. They was asking me why. I don't even know. I don't even know why I cut you off. And still now, I don't even know why.
That person's an idiot.
Wow.
They should know why. That person's a top drawer idiot, and they should know why.
There is so much smoke.
Is this
on
when? Is this the one that
podcast.
when I was talking about with
How do you know which one he's talking about?
and Hamza the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamza was vexed as well, but and the reason because as far as I'm concerned, they're old men.
Yes.
That was an old man complaining. What I was hearing from Ham, I'm like, bruv, is that a reason to? Yes. Bullshit. It was Facebook nonsense, you know.
They're
Stuff
sensitive.
Facebook arguments. I'm like, it's too.
They're,
Anyway,
they're just sensitive. Leave them.
they're old.
They're sensitive.
They're
With
old.
with age comes sensitivity.
Have you heard the term "old men shouting at cloud"?
No.
That's a term that
Is that what they were doing?
It's a term that people use to say old man is getting angry at.
Why so
For nothing.
sensitive?
How many people have you cut off in the last 10 years?
Cut off? I can't remember.
But
10
you have
years
cut
is
people
a
off.
long time. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 years then.
I think there's two.
Can you remember the reasons why?
Disrespect. I just don't.
He's
I
big on
don't-
respect.
I don't take that.
That's why I like Mr. Wolf. Because he's very
Yeah,
Respect.
I think I might have done that as well.
disrespect.
Usually, that's the thing that bothers me, innit?
I think that's the thing that bothers most
Yeah.
people.
But the thing with time is, it's almost like once I understand that you're a late person, that is something I deal with. I used to be a late person, and I can be sometimes once. I'm not consecutively late anymore.
Habitual later.
Yeah, but I know people that are just late all the time. So web slinger for me is one of those people. I just deal with it. He's late.
I'm not habitually late, bro.
Mr. Wolf,
He saves it for
You're lying
Mr. Wolf
as well.
is habitually late. You just deal with it.
No, he's getting better.
I'm
get
not
better for-
habitually late, bro.
Okay.
This
no,
is
Wow.
you know what?
no.
This let me tell
In
you
the
something.
past, he was
Courtney.
late. He's much better.
This is the thing is what's that saying when your reputation precedes you? I
Yeah.
think
Reputation
this
precedes
is
you.
what it is. Maybe.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
I've known you
so
20
I
years.
was late quite a lot back in the day.
For 18 years that I've known you.
I was not late for 18 years,
Brother,
bro.
yes, you were.
No, I was
Okay,
not.
but is he late now?
Yeah, but if you've done something for 18 years and for the last
I
6
wasn't
months to
late
a
for
year,
18 years.
you've patterned up.
Yeah, then you're
Is that-
fine
is that-
up now.
is that
He's
all
no
of a
longer
sudden-
late.
At least
all of a
he's
sudden-
trying. No, at
Yeah,
least
he's no
he's
longer
trying.
late
though,
anymore.
guys.
Okay.
At least he's
He
trying.
used to be late.
Because
He's no longer
you
late.
didn't beat women for the last year. You got
know.
women.
Is
You
he
know what I
right?
mean?
Do you want me?
Yes.
He's right. He's right.
No, but when I say these things, it's like take it to the extreme.
For me,
What do you say?
He said just because you didn't beat women in the last 10 years doesn't mean that you didn't beat. Not saying that you actually beat women before, but the point he's making is just
Nah,
because
I
it's
think
recent.
you need a bit more time.
I think we spoke about that in the
consecutive-
past. Like if you're like a murderer back in the day, you are still considered a murderer. But then we spoke about the extremes of the things that you do.
Yeah, exactly. It's the gravity of the crime.
Exactly.
So,
So,
to speak.
you saying what you're saying, technically, perhaps someone would have an argument and say that you are right, like what Simple Simon is saying. But I haven't been late for ages or consistently late.
You have
No,
to
no,
appreciate
so-
him trying.
No,
Yeah, that's my issue.
I have the appreciation of the trying.
I'm not even
I'm
trying.
100%
Good.
there for that, yeah? This is the thing though, and this is the point of what Stab's saying, yeah? If, let's just say for time's sake, if for 10 years you've consistently been the one that's late, yeah?
Yeah.
And then for 5 years, you've patterned up and you're not the one that's consistently late, yeah? Are we now to say that your new recent reputation is representative of you as a whole?
No, but you're moving like you can't use past tense. You can say you used to be late all the
Yeah,
time,
with-
but you're
you're
getting
not
better
late.
at it.
Which is what a man said. This is what a man said. That's
No,
what
you
he
said
said.
that you're late.
Mate,
Let
you
me-
said
let
that
me
you
tell
can't
I was
erase the
going to say more, but
reputation.
he stopped. He stopped.
Let me actually tell you what it is. Yeah, Simple Simon almost had
just
it.
remember, he cut me off. That's what I'm saying. I was talking.
Okay.
I didn't complain about it.
I'm only just defending myself. So Simple Simon said something along the lines that, yeah, for 5 years you've been late, and then for the 5 years after you haven't been late. But he forgot to put in during those 5 years that I haven't been late. They've been late.
Ooh.
Okay, let me get my mic and just drop it. Now. Get the hell out of here,
Can I say?
mate.
Can I say?
Because them man are late more than I am now.
For one.
Well-
For one.
Except for Big Wahala.
No. For one.
And
for
now
one.
you're defending yourself.
If it was
It's okay.
5 years and 5 years, I would actually say, now that you split it in half, I would class it as you're not late anymore.
No, I said 10 years.
10 years. But even 5 years, I think if you've done something for 5 years, that's enough for me to like allow you on a standing ground. Like,
Even if you've been doing it for the previous 10 years consistently.
Yeah, but 5 years now
it's
is
half the time, bro.
Yeah, but 5 years is 5
That's a
years.
long
Like,
time,
that's
man.
My thing
a
is
decent
this-
amount. Let me finish, bro.
Go ahead.
That's a decent amount of time for you to be doing something for me to say, you know what, you've changed your logic board. I'm allowing you to be in this area now, right? But the fact is, you said 10 and 5. This is 18 and 1.
That is such an
Yeah?
exaggeration.
It's
you
not,
know.
okay. I've
Come on,
known
bruv.
you
But still,
since
it's an effort.
2000.
And that's my thing, Courtney.
It's
Because
effort.
I'm like, you know, it's not a case of why would the person. I know that you shouldn't really be rewarding people for doing normal things,
Exactly.
right? But
Exactly.
if you see that he's now made an effort to now come in on time,
Yeah, there we go.
in general, then there's no reason for you to have to dash him. There was no reason for you to
don't
dash him
be
there to say,
mean.
No, because he's not always on time, is he? Is he always on time?
he's
Better than before,
Yeah.
no?
No, what he's saying is that, as far as I'm concerned, he's on time as about the same as everyone else.
No, I'm on time more than you guys.
Okay, maybe slightly
Standard.
more.
9 times out of 10.
No, it's
bruv.
not.
to
It's
go-
not
but
9
to-
times out of 10.
And it's
But-
not 18-1, bro.
but-
You get
but-
me?
I'm talking about 18 years.
I don't know if this is good for the listeners.
I don't know.
listen
To
you.
go
Yeah, okay,
to go
exactly.
from being late all the time to hardly being late, that's an achievement.
Yeah, but if it's the same as everyone else, then it's not an achievement. All you're
not-
doing is what you're
But that,
meant to be
but
doing.
we're looking at the
not the same as
individual.
everyone.
Listen, I am not from the Bible. You are not the lost son. Yeah, you are not the what is it? What is it?
Prodigal.
The prodigal son.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't need to give you a sheep when you come home. Yeah, you've done what you're meant to be doing.
I'm
That's
not-
it.
I'm not asking for accolades.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let's use an example then. Just to cut this off.
I don't want
So your friend
accolades.
now that's always late, that you've said that's your pet peeve with her, right? Is she now started to come on time all the time?
Absolutely not. Still a late person. Just deal with it.
Well, then that's it.
For how long?
Or me, I'd just be late as well then. Two can play that game, no?
No, but I'm saying she's now made the
she's
effort
fixed
to
up
be on
now.
time now. So she's now changed.
Oh,
like,
if
Miss
she
Wood,
did.
would you now commend her for coming in on time? Would you say
Yeah,
to
I'd
her-
be like, oh, you're doing good, you know? Like, you've actually been on time.
Patronising.
It's not patronising.
I don't even want the accolades.
That's what you do with children,
Alright,
man.
it's cool. I'm glad you
well
don't
done.
Next!
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get onto this adult.
I had a vision that lateness would be spoken about today.
Wow,
and
that's
you would
kinda
try and
crazy.
shade me on my life.
You had a vision.
Yeah, I did.
So man had his defense ready.
Yeah, because
No,
he had a
not
vision.
really.
That's God in them. That's what he said.
Swear
for
God.
Just before we move on to this next topic, today I have been watching random clips from The Wire.
As you should do.
And I think watching the clips is actually better than watching the whole program. But
Okay.
did you ever watch The Wire?
No.
I need to watch it again
You
as
missed
like
the beautiful thing.
as a bigger adult. I think I'll appreciate
See-
it completely differently.
I said that if my wife should have watched The Wire before I married her, and I still feel that should have happened, but it's too late
I
now.
feel
I'm afraid-
like
I'm
you
afraid
lot
to
always
ask you.
put me on to good series, so I might start.
Yeah, check
Because
The
last
Wire.
time I was here, it was Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Remember?
Okay. Yes,
and then I
yes.
got into it, and then I was like a Game of Thrones person.
Yeah.
It will
Sure,
take
that's
you
right.
half your life to watch The Wire.
Yeah, it's
Why?
6 seasons long.
How
And
many
there's about
episodes?
95 episodes per season.
I think it's about 20-something episodes.
It's a good-
Per
it-
season.
It's a
It's
good
even
show.
more than that, you know?
Yeah.
It's more than that.
It's a
But-
deep one.
People
I don't think
people
it's
put it in
I'm
the top,
employed. I haven't even got that many hours.
In fact,
in
yeah,
the
it's
day.
it's 24 episodes. a
people put it in
season.
there like their top 3 programs of all time. A lot of TV watchers.
Yeah, Breaking
How long
Bad,
is an episode?
The
An
Wire,
hour.
and
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
The Sopranos.
Yeah,
that's
those
what
are
you
the
have.
three. Those are the Holy Trinity.
And Game of Thrones is like just under the tier underneath that.
What's
Because
the-
of last season. Because
It's for the
of last-
youngsters that
Yeah,
put that in
yeah,
there.
true.
But
Yeah.
anyone 35 plus, it's
What's
Sopranos,
the plot of it?
It's about
Drug
drugs in is it Baltimore?
Baltimore.
Yeah, so it's
Ah,
about
it's
the drug
always
game in
drugs.
Baltimore.
Yeah. So
It's got
they,
Method
they,
Man in it.
they incorporate the drug dealers, the police, the press.
Like everything.
So what, you kind of see it from everyone's point of view?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, that's
Every
kinda lit.
season they look at it from a different slant.
Yeah, so the first season it starts off talking about the street trade and you see the street kings. The second season is more about the distribution, so where it comes from, like the distributors. Third season it now goes back to being a bit more of a mix-up type of thing. A lot of it's still got everything to do with the police are involved heavily in it.
Yeah. Was
Which one's the one with the docs? Was that the
That's
two?
second
two
season.
that's season 2. That's the one that like everyone's like.
Yeah, it's like,
That's hard.
Like,
Season 2 was hard.
That's like Breaking Bad season 1. You have to go through it to get to understand it. But when you get past it and you see how, because again, that's about the distribution and stuff like that, then you get to see why and how things come in.
Like, it's hard.
It's very, very
Sounds
good.
lit. I
Yeah,
might
it's
find
good.
some time to watch
But
it.
you need time. It's not one of
Yeah.
those ones you can be watching it and on Twitter at the same
But
time.
my commute to work is a bit long and I'm
It's a
underground.
very clever
most of it,
program.
so.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
download
see-
it.
see if
Yeah,
you can.
put it on your tablet or your
Download
phone or
it.
something.
It's a
Cool.
very
So-
clever
so-
program.
Sounds like a
Adulting
vibe.
then.
Yeah,
Adulting.
because we spoke about this previously with another guest, I think, because I don't think any of us actually deal with this term. So,
Did we?
sorry,
Did we?
I-
Maybe I wasn't around.
maybe we spoke about it offline.
Okay, go on.
But adulting, yeah, I'm sure we have. Could you tell us what you believe it is, and you're telling us that you're finding it a bit hard? So can you tell
It's
us why?
being an adult and doing adult things,
Yes.
like actually having to work to earn money.
Mhm.
And I wish to unsubscribe. 0 out of 10 experience, would not recommend.
What's the problem?
It's hard.
You've been working for how long?
My whole life, I feel
then,
like.
So then, what's the problem then?
That's the problem. I've been working for my whole life.
I've been working a job.
I'm tired.
How long
I am
have you actually been
tired.
working? 10 years?
I literally got a job the week after my 16th birthday, so 12 years.
12
Okay.
years. I'll be working since I was 14, so that's...
What are you doing in paper round?
I was working in a video shop.
Fucking extortion, but you're not supposed to, are you? I just saw the
It's too
black
late
guy
now.
on the
work.
table
It's too
business.
late now.
So,
I'm just tired. I'm tired of having to wake up early
I'll
and
get
go
that,
to
man.
work.
so is it just a job thing?
And and like look after people at work.
I'll get you.
Make sure the work
Listen,
is done.
do you have a
Oh yeah,
mortgage?
because you have
Tired.
people underneath you that you have to deal with. innit?
Supervisor.
Have you got a mortgage yet?
No.
You haven't even got that to come with it.
But I feel like that's going to be easier than this.
No, because that means you now have... You, at the moment, if you lost your job tomorrow, you could probably still live because you can live
Yeah.
in your mum's house and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine now the only reason why you're going to work is to pay bills. That's it.
Yeah, but
God.
that gives you more of an incentive.
That sounds like
because
adulting more.
No, because it's just like I'm not even going there to.
Adulting level 2.
Imagine
Yes.
if no, because you go if Courtney works and does her hours or whatnot,
Yeah.
and depending on what type of parents she's got, she might not give them any rent, or she might give them a little bit of rent. I don't
I
know.
wish. I know you fucking lying.
I'm just saying I don't know what you do. Yeah, right. So let's say that she gets to keep the majority of her money.
Yeah.
Which means that, you've worked and you get to keep the majority. I know that Courtney likes nice things, so I've seen her in nice designer stuff. Look at-
See what we're doing.
Are you a designer person?
She got Louis V. Look, she got Mercedes
I
key
wouldn't
and
say-
a Louis Vuitton.
I wouldn't say I'm a designer person, but I like nice things.
Beat her up, man.
Why? What's wrong? If you go to her Instagram,
Nobody
you see
gonna
it.
find me.
Yeah, they see her Instagram. She'll see the
Do you put your car on your Instagram?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
That's a bait,
Well,
man.
I baited her. So
But
what?
people who know me know.
Ain't a
What
big
vehicle
deal,
she's
man.
got. I didn't tell what. I didn't
Ain't
say
a
that.
big
Yeah, but we
deal.
have 7.3 million listeners. Not everybody's gonna know what car
Well,
you drive.
okay, well, she's got that car. But anyway,
7.3
but I'm saying
listeners.
Speaking it into existence. Go on.
But yes, but as I said, she's can spend a lot of her money on the things that she likes.
Yes, you can.
When you now have to pay bills and they start and you look at your bills and they take away everything comes out first, and then the money that you now got to spend on the things that you like is decreased by a lot.
Yeah.
It makes adulting a lot worse.
That sounds like prison.
It is prison. You're
Yeah,
prison
but
to your,
that's
to your
nuts.
bills.
Kind of.
That's what the
That's
word
nuts.
mortgage actually means.
Prison.
No, it's like
I'm actually not like.
it's
that.
yeah, it's like it really does mean a deaf,
No.
Are you saving?
a deaf.
I am.
I don't
But
think
that's
good amount.
Yeah,
death
I
debt.
say very, very well. But
Right, that's
the point of the matter is, I don't know why I have to get up and go to work to make money.
I also
You
don't
do know why? I don't like when people say stuff
I'm
like that.
But
tired.
she doesn't want to.
Yeah, then say you don't want to.
And we don't. None of us want
No,
to.
because I actually love my job, and I said this the last time I was here. I love my job, but why does it have to be like, you have to do this many hours? Or,
Listen, you should.
have to do this.
So don't you understand that you're blessed? You're one of the few people that actually enjoys the work they do.
True.
Every day.
You studied
of
for
my
something,
life,
you excelled in
I
it,
believe.
you've gone, and then you've gone to work in it. You're even teaching other people about it. You actually enjoy your job, and you get paid a good ransom for it.
I guess.
Sorry, let me put some facts to that. The word mortgage actually means dead pledge. Literally.
See?
That is what it translates to. Old French, for mort and gage, it means mortgage, it's a dead pledge.
The thing about this, Courtney, yeah,
Until you die.
is that you're not even responsible for somebody else, really, yet. Properly.
No, I'm not. Absolutely
And that
not.
makes it even more adulting.
I have nieces and a nephew.
Nah, that's belongs to
0 out
somebody
of 10
else.
experience. Wouldn't recommend. No, I'm joking. I love them. Really.
You don't think that makes it more
yeah,
adulting
no,
worse?
there won't be no kids for a while.
It's not even
Sorry.
kids. What about when
They're
you get a partner?
expensive. That's expensive as well.
Yeah, they become somebody that you're responsible for.
A partner doesn't have to be
Jarring.
expensive. If you
It's draining.
Sugar
But then if you want to live together, that's expensive.
Sugar daddy.
When I say
Being in
draining,
a relationship, wow. No, I'm
no,
joking.
I'm not. When I say draining, I don't mean as in a negative in that part of draining. I mean, like, you now have to constantly.
where is the positive drain?
No, there is no positive drain. I'm just trying to put
There
spin
is,
on
there
it.
is.
But I'm trying to say that it's more of a case of that you have to be aware that somebody else is there and you have to be aware of them.
Aware of their
So then
feelings
it's,
and-
when I say it's draining, I mean like your energy is now put somewhere, placed in different places.
It's
Yeah,
divide.
it's a
Yeah,
fair point.
divide. Whereas before your energy was just on you and maybe your surroundings. Now you've got an extra person in that surroundings. You now have to worry about them. Like even little things, like if you, let's say that you wanted to shit now, and you've only got one toilet in the house, you have to ask, do you need to go to the toilet? Because I need to shit.
Okay.
Stuff like that is,
That's a
stuff like
consideration.
that is,
That's being considerate.
yeah, but stuff like that is stuff that you didn't have to worry about.
Okay, I get
That's
you. I get
adulting.
you. For me, I just see this. All right. Okay, adulting.
Stabs don't get adulted.
having a. I know I get it, but for me, I'm a. Let's say I'm a responsible type person, and I just see that I have all this stuff on my shoulders. Like even before I was with a woman, I was planning how I was gonna deal with being with a woman. Even before I had a child, I was planning on what the responsibilities I'd have to do with our child. So when it came, it wasn't something like, oh, there's all this extra stuff. I've been planning this for the past 10, from the minute I decided I wanted to settle down, I'd accepted all these things as it's going to happen, and I was planning for it anyways. So I just see it as like, it's just there, isn't it? And this is how you live a successful life.
Clap for yourself.
Isn't it? I don't think that.
I don't mean it.
No, but I don't think that you ever feel like when you wake up in the
Accolades.
morning. I mean, like when you whatever age you are, that it's gonna be like it is when you just wake up in the morning to go to work every day.
Yeah, of course.
No, I knew that I had to do it, but it's like until I started doing it, I'm like,
It's
wow,
different when you're
every
actually
day.
doing it. Yeah.
every day. Like, there's never a day that I don't have
Every
to get up
day.
to do this.
For me, all I worry about is if I lose my job.
Ooh, that's another situation.
That's like an anxiety that I can't carry
that
with
is
me.
one of the few, because everyone's got anxiety and it's like, okay, whatever. But that is one of the few things. Is like, if I lose my job, then I'm gonna have to rob somebody.
Wow.
No, he's right. I'm hitting the curb.
I'm gonna
boy.
have to do. I'm gonna have to do something drastic. Because the reason I'm
Queen
asking you,
Child
are you saving? Is because I have no savings,
Okay.
and you're meant to have
Like-
a good chunk of savings for if.
Well, no,
this
it's not
predicament
supposed to be.
happens.
So I saw this the other day. It's not supposed to be a good chunk. They say that an emergency in life.
3 to 6 months.
is going to cost you between £400 and £600. So that's what you should have put away as like rainy day money.
No.
That don't even come up
listen,
with
Emergency in life, not like
No.
you lose your job and then.
I'm not going to go into your pockets, but if your outgoings every month happen to be £1,000, let's round it nice and simple. And these are essentials, not clothes and drinks and, going out. Your bills and
Travel.
I don't know, your travel, stuff like that is £1,000 a month. And this is for you listeners as well. You should have £3,000 to £6,000. Me, I'll do the minimum and say £6,000 in a bank that with easy access. It doesn't even have to be earning any interest. It just needs to be there, something that you can take out immediately. You do not touch it. You don't think about it. It is there. If something happens to you, God forbid, you lose your job, you have an accident and you're out of commission, you have a 6-month buffer of I can still look after my bills. £400, you ain't doing for nothing, for nobody, no way, no how, no that. Please don't anybody listen to that advice. £400 is nothing.
You can't even buy
Fair.
Balenciaga with this one.
You
get
wouldn't do that if you didn't have the money to do it.
Some people would.
Yeah.
Idiot thing.
Some people have
Not
no
really.
food in their
That might
fridge.
turn up your hunger, You might be like, shit, I bought these Balenciagas, I ain't got no money, how am I going to do this hustle?
No,
Have
that's
you ever
absolutely
been broke before?
backwards.
Like super. And when I mean broke, I mean broke.
I've
Not-
told myself that I've been broke, but I've never really been broke.
Sometimes, because I've been at the level where it's like not in my house. Yeah, when I was outside my house and I was living with someone else, we were so broke that it's almost like once the money comes in and you realize you cannot even pay all the bills with the money you have, it's almost, excuse my French because you know how to swear. It's like fuck it. It's like forget it. I can't, even if I was responsible with the money I've got in, I cannot pay all the bills. Something
been that
so it's
broke.
like I might as well just do what I want with this money anyways.
No, that's mad.
No,
No,
you
but that's
say
what
it's mad,
happens.
but until you get to
That's
that situation.
that's the psychology, because the real crux of it is, am I going to come and die now?
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
basically
Can
it.
you come
So
and
you're
kill
like, shit,
yourself?
forget it, yeah.
Because then it's like, because me, the way I'm living now, I can enjoy things in life every month. If something pops up, I can still enjoy life. If you get to that point in life and every single month, all your money, because we're talking about having to go to work to
Yeah,
earn stuff,
and pay
but
rent
you are
and-
actually enjoying some of the money that you're earning. You're saving, you're spending money on bills, and then you have this third that you're enjoying. Once you get to the position where you aren't actually enjoying anything, there's no savings, there's no enjoyment, all it is bills, at some point you can say, I want to enjoy. And
Yeah,
damn the
yeah.
repercussions.
Have you ever been so broke that the peanut butter does not want to talk to the jelly?
Wow.
Why would you have to? Webs. Webs, you've been an adult more than most, for longer than most.
Wow.
How do you feel about adulting? Can you even remember your childhood?
Oh,
What's that?
I said you've been an adult more than most. Yeah, longer than most. Yeah. Can you even how do you feel about adulting?
Do you know what? I don't even think I'm fully an adult yet, man. I'm still fighting that fight.
You do not think you're an adult.
No, I'm the kind of person, you know me, you all know me. I'm the kind of person I don't like being put in a box. So this adulting thing, which I've been speaking about with a few people, it's hard. All of us are in jobs. We've all worked. I took myself out of the rat race of working to pursue my career.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do and I've ever committed to in my life. And I wake up most mornings and I'm scared. I'm like, shit. I don't know what the hell's going on. And I've had that moments where I'm looking in the cupboard and it's one can of tuna and the rice is almost finished. And I go to the bank and there's nothing there. And then I go to the piggy bank and there's only like £2. And I don't think, do I do chicken shop or do I go Savers and try and get something?
Before you just go to your mum's. I don't understand. Anybody's like that.
No, but sometimes
Pride.
you know about the pride before the fall, right?
Bruv, if I'm hungry and there's food at my mum's house, I'm going there on a daily basis.
Yeah, but if you moved out of your mother's home,
So
and you're your own person, as much as you know the fallback is there, if you have to. Right now you don't have to. You just have scraps.
he
And
just
it's
said
like,
he has nothing.
yeah, but you don't have to keep going to your mum all the time.
Oh, hang up now.
No,
man.
but-
hurt his feelings. Man.
No, but I'm saying there's a difference between your going
I
there
know, it's still
to
there,
beg
it's still
money.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just talking about going there to beg money. I'm just going there to eat. I'm not going there to sleep. I'm not going there to bath. I'm just
I
going there
think-
to eat.
That's where it
The
starts, though. Because
moral of
what
the story is just stay at home for as long as you can,
Yes, or
basically.
we can take this into the other topic is about if it gets to a point where it's the reverse. Yeah.
And you need to come home.
no,
As we've finished.
Oh.
Go on, Webs. Go on. Sorry, you was talking about
Oh,
your
sorry.
adulting. Yeah, go on. So you had £2 left.
All I will say is adulting is not easy. we never know what to expect, and we don't always plan for the inevitable because we don't know what the inevitable is going to bring.
There is no inevitable.
So exactly. So as much as
Thanos is in.
as much as Stav says, make sure you've got X amount in the bank for that rainy day. That rainy day might be a hailstorm or a tsunami, and we may not be ready for that. So being prepared, you can be as prepared as you want, but you're never 100% prepared. And they don't teach you these things in school. This is life lessons.
I'm teaching you now.
So
It's too late.
So how much of pride is an issue? Because as far as I'm concerned, if I feel like I'm flat on my face, boy, you lot will hear from me, fam. Because I'm flat on my face. Me, blood. If I have to say that I'm properly flat on my face,
it won't come to me. It'll come to somebody
no,
else.
I'll go to you. Why would I go to you? Because you're the one that won't ask for it back.
He's got you pattern, boy.
They're the best people that owe me money.
You know the good thing about us, if we were ever flat on our face, we would have each other to rely on.
I ain't giving you shit.
I think I would. Okay then.
I'm joking,
I have myself to rely on. But no, the way we are now, as I'll say it loosely, grown-ups. We are grown-ups. We are aware of our pitfalls. We are aware of what's right and what's wrong, and how to navigate through life the best way we know how. And those of us that have kids, we have to do that. So we teach our kids right from wrong and how to navigate life as well. But it's not easy.
I don't think it's hard.
See, 0 out of 10 wouldn't recommend.
All right. Let me go around the table. So Webster said adulting is not easy. Stav thinks it. I don't still think it's hard. Let me not say it's easy, but for the foundation I've had, because I know there's other people that have come from different situations, and I understand why it's hard for them. But everybody in this room, I'm even going to include Courtney in this. I don't know your life story, but I know enough to say I'm including that we had a foundation. Mm-hmm. So I don't see it as hard because I believe I had a good foundation. So, Mr. Wolf, do you think adulting is hard, in the middle, or easy? Not easy, it's quite sure.
I'm still toying on the idea of what the flipping thing is. I mean, is it just paying bills and just going to work?
Being an adult, bro.
Well, then,
looking after
what parents say. What I can remember aunties and uncles saying to me is, embrace your childhood because you're never going to get it back. Mm-hmm. Enjoy what is happening now. Blah, blah, blah. You get me?
Yesterday.
I speak to my younger cousins. You know what I'm saying? I say, you're young, enjoy it now. You haven't got no responsibilities, blah, blah, blah. So in terms of adulting, as I've seen it, I think I'm extremely blessed, but there have been some real difficult and dark moments that perhaps my parents kind of put me in a position where I didn't see that when I was young. So I know that there are a lot of young kids out there in the world that are going through hell. But me personally, when I was young, I enjoyed my youth.
See, even innocence, the loss of innocence that comes with adulting is not a beautiful thing, man.
I'd say out of a scale of 1 to 100, it's about 60% difficult.
See, 0 out of 10. All sounds the same to me, Hans.
Mm-hmm. So what you say?
Simple.
Nah, I find it difficult just because of the kind of personality that I am. Like, I'm a very free person, and like,
he never wants to grow up. Peter Pan.
I'm a very free person. So
what does free mean?
Free as in
running in the cornfields.
Yeah, like the regiment of adult life is mad for me. Like, and it's the only reason why I'm able to commit to it the way I am is because I'm a dutiful person at the same time. It's really weird. But for who I am, my spirit, I'm a very free person. I don't make plans. I don't really do much like long-term projection. And I live life.
You're telling me.
In the moment.
I live life, for what life is.
It's
and
like
I try
for life.
And yeah, exactly. So
but you can do that.
Day to day.
Yeah, but you kind of, adulting requires you to do this extra bit of planning to look beyond tomorrow.
Yeah, but
like before my daughter came around, I didn't give a shit. Quite frankly, I did not give a shit. My daughter came around and I'm like, damn, this little person.
Simple. I don't give a goddamn.
This little person now requires me to be good in order for her to be okay.
Yeah.
And like, it just turns into there's a pressure with responsibility.
Responsibility.
You
have to have that, boy.
And it's like, that pressure
With great sperms comes great responsibility.
Yes.
Gaza. So from my point of view, I would say it's hard.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
And this is for everybody, I guess. Is if money wasn't an option,
Yeah.
do you think that you would have an issue with adulting, as in you were stinking rich? Do you think that money restricts you?
Definitely. But the money restriction isn't so much about how much you do or don't have. It's about how difficult it is to generate.
Yeah, so let's just say that
It's the burden of generating it.
You thought of an idea of an app and then you became rich. In the next 6 months, you became a millionaire.
Yeah.
Would adulting still be difficult for you?
For me, it would be easier because you have that tool, but the essence of adulting is still I would still feel that, the responsibility, and I would still feel that pressure. Alright, because it's not just the money. It's like, now
you're responsible for a whole lot of money,
and I'm responsible for it's more my daughter than anything else. I'm a mad person, innit? So I have to now behave myself because the example that I've set in is responsible for a whole nother person. And the way they potentially turn out, I'm influencing so many different people that it just means that I can't do a mazza.
And you think that having a lot of money is a nice responsibility to have, until you see that you can't split all that money with as many people as you want. And then suddenly all the people that you thought was cool with you is no longer cool with you because you got money. All of this type of stuff becomes a situation. So money doesn't take away the responsibility, boy.
Then there's tax.
Yeah, man. What was the question anyway?
Same to you, innit?
I can't remember what the question was.
Them man
Oh, it's adulting hard.
Yeah,
yes, basically hard.
So everyone's saying 0 out of 10.
You're mad.
I don't think adulting is
because
hard.
you enjoy your life, maybe. Yeah, all aspects of your life.
What Simple Simon was saying about that living the wildlife kind of thing and having to almost like slow it down. I kind of get it. I kind of get it. So let's say before it was like water. Now it's like molasses. Is slow.
Yeah, so that's adulting.
Yeah, but I'm still doing it.
But you're still doing it because you have that type of situation where you can still do it.
But this is
other people don't have that situation. So that's what I'm saying. It's for you. It's easier.
Okay, all right. But for me, I put myself in that position. So for instance, me saying that make sure you save enough money for your rainy day, and then Webb saying that's hard. So then both of us have a rainy day on the 1st of January 2020, and I've got the money and he doesn't because
But it's not just money.
Let him finish. Go on.
I've foreseen the issues, and I've put myself in a position where when those troubles happen, because I understand those troubles will happen, let me put the barrier up now. Whereas him is like, I don't like it's going to be hard either way.
I don't get it. Okay, let's say God forbid, yeah, you're in your situation that you are now, and God forbid that your missus breaks her legs and she can't walk.
Okay,
right? That can
That
completely change.
Bad thing
That
happened to
completely
him. That's why.
That completely no, both. I'm talking about she's
both
unable
of
to
them.
walk.
Okay.
No, and let's say now that she, for even like a year or so, she's now has difficulty. That's going to change your dynamic completely.
Yeah.
And then your adulting becomes hard suddenly, doesn't it? Because before, when you used to just be able to say to your wife, even the fact that your wife drives on her own makes your life easier.
Yeah, but let's say I picked a woman that drove.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you that these things are why you're saying maybe these things are easier for you. But if your circumstances change, then your adult life might change,
Okay,
innit? So at the moment, you're cool, innit?
You haven't listened to what I've said. Because what I've said is that, I said that
You put yourself in a position that
Let him finish.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
just say what you want to say.
Well, it's not me.
Go.
Say what you
But
want to say.
Wow.
No, I was saying to you, let him finish.
I have said that I understand that problems will arise. That's the first thing I said. I said that there are situations that I can foresee happening, and I pattern myself up so that when those things, or if those things happen, there's a barrier or something for me, a buffer.
Yeah, but
So, for instance, if my sorry,
how do you buffer that?
my woman breaking her leg and can't work for a year or something.
Not the working, not money. It's not the money.
It's the money. It's the money.
No, but it's just not just the money because
Okay,
you've
what
got a
is
child
it?
that you got to look after.
Yes, and I look after
there's
myself.
but if you, there's things that you could do before that you cannot do now.
Yeah.
So that's got nothing to do with money, then, is it?
Which you explained to me one thing that she was doing before. Yeah.
Walk into the stove.
Yeah, and then I'll do that. But
this makes it difficult now, doesn't it?
Yeah, but so what? Life is not meant to be.
But that's what we're all complaining about. We don't want this difficult life.
Here's the issue then. If you think life is hunky dory and that's your foundation, or that's the barometer that life should be easy, life should be la da da da, then you're just thinking. Let me finish. You're thinking incorrectly. Life is not la da da. Life is somewhere in the middle. Hopefully, it should be somewhere in the middle. If you earn enough money and you're with the right person and everything is blessed for you, then it can be la da da. But for most people, it's trying to
They don't marry the right person.
Somebody wants to say, no, for me, my wife
Child.
makes the biggest difference.
Most people.
If I was not with her, then my life wouldn't. So we've spoken about my ex before, and from a long time ago, the one I was with 20 years ago. If I was with her, my life would not be easy.
Okay.
Simple. But I chose a good wife. So my life is easy because I chose a good wife. Because thank God we had a child safely. Because thank God neither of us have a broken leg. But end of the day, we have come across hurdles and we've overcome those hurdles.
So here's the thing. What you just said there sounds very much about like gratitude, and you're grateful for the good things that you do have. And what I think you may be misunderstanding, I'm going to speak for myself, and what I've said is that maybe I'm overlooking the good blessings. I'm not overlooking the good blessings at all. Yeah. I know that my position, as it currently stands, is one of I'm fortuitous. Yeah.
I'm not talking about you personally.
But I'm just saying to you, I don't have a problem with being grateful. I'm saying the shits is hard.
Yes. And this is what I'm trying to say.
He's saying...
What you say? Sorry, go on.
0 out of 10.
Yeah,
that was the top and the bottom line.
You come up with all this, your life is not la-di-da, and yes, we know that, and that's the point. We want it to be la-di-da. We want it to be like that.
Okay, for me.
So we know it's not, but we want it like that.
You saw the tweet I did yesterday, where I found this Korean music video of listen to this, yeah? Go to my Twitter and find it. It's a Korean music video of a man talking about women that he doesn't want women with small bottoms. He doesn't want flat.
Oh yeah. He said,
the woman that he's playing that's meant to have a decent bottom, because I only did a little clip, so you weren't really sure. But as you continue, that woman was meant to actually have a sizable bottom. Yeah. And my statement with that is I said, everything is relative. That was I said, the lesson for today, everything is relative. So for me, that woman's bottom was flat. I couldn't, and for me, because I need a bottom in my life, I could never deal with that. She was a pretty woman. Yeah, but her bottom was flat. Whereas this man is playing at it like, hey, he near enough bit his fist like, wow. And then he said, I couldn't deal with a woman with a flat bottom. So that's his relative. So for me, when I walk through these London streets and I see people living on the street, I think it's a cheek for me to say adulting is hard as I'm paying all my bills.
Yeah, but they're adulting hard as well.
Yeah, but they're adulting. That's hard for them, bro. They're begging me for something. You're not begging for anything.
Okay, so that's how you look at it. Yeah. So how I look at it is like this: when I walk past the same people on the street, I walk past them and they confirm to me that adulting is hard.
For them?
No,
because they're the other side of adulting.
You could be them.
Exactly, they're the other side of adulting.
I'm not them.
No, I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying you could be.
You could be. So that me, when I see them, I look at them and I think, this is proof that adulting is hard.
Absolutely.
Because this is the other side of adulting. I could be where I is, or I could be here.
Adulting is hard, bro.
It's the same scale, bro.
You enjoy your adult life. Thank God, we're all happy for you. But the rest of us, adulting is hard.
That's why I said, if you're in that kind of situation, and let's hope that you work your way out of it, whatever it may be, bad relationship, money problems.
If you look at,
go on, bro.
If you look at homelessness in that respect, in the adulting respect, a lot of homeless people have fallen on hard times. Some people have chosen to come out of their comfort zone to try and better their lives and hit a bad curb, took a wrong turn, and they've ended up where they are, homeless.
All right.
And that's like what Simple was saying. That's the side of adulting that when you see it, you think your adulting is hard. My adulting is hard, but your adulting is hard because you're in a position that you may not have. You may not have wanted to go into, but the navigation system that you had just took you on the wrong route, and you ended up there.
I'm blessed, man.
So in conclusion, adulting is
we are all
0 out of 10.
We're all
would
blessed.
Recommend.
Simple things.
We're all blessed because we get up and we're able to take a breath. If you're able to take a breath, that means you're able to move. If you're able to move, that means you're able to.
It doesn't.
Okay.
We get the sentiment.
We're all blessed in that respect, and we all have our blessings to be thankful of. You've got a family, you're healthy, you're this, that, and the other. Me, when I have my small blessings, if I'm doing a job that comes through or whatever like that, it's a blessing. We all have those blessings. Bro. They come incrementally, but sometimes
when the deets go through, bro, it's a blessing. When the deets go through,
but sometimes things don't go the right way, and that's the bad side of adulting. It's like, if it had went that way, it would have been.
You can hear Wilson's feelings.
Okay, all right. For me, okay, all right.
We'll agree to disagree.
We've gone round in circles.
Are you going on to something else?
Yes,
I was.
Okay, because the thing I was going to talk about was quite kind of linked with this a little bit.
Then.
All right, so at one point I was on Twitter and I was talking about we have to have a discussion about how the dynamics of your household changes, or even just your life changes when you either earn as much as your parents or more than your parents.
Big pin. No, I'm joking. I think it depends on the household you come from.
Yeah, and Courtney was like, I want to talk about this. So she's here now, so I thought we'll talk about it. So, do you feel that there was any change in your dynamic, your demeanor and the dynamic of the household when you started, or you felt like you earned either as much as your parent or more than them?
Stavros, can I go first?
Yes.
No. Next.
You don't feel there was no dynamic change at all?
What difference does it make?
How?
What difference does it make?
When you no longer depend on anything.
I've never, from my first job, I had my first real job, because people like to talk about this thing. I had my first real job at 17. And since then, financially, outside of living at home, so that is obviously the biggest finance. Don't get me wrong. It's mortgage. There was food there that I was contributing. Don't get me wrong. But I've never asked my parents for money for well over 20 something years. If anything, then it's me that, like, they went on holiday, I'll pack them up with a little thing. So I've not relied on my parents financially outside of being at home, which again, I'm not dismissing that as nothing, which is why I said I have the wonderful foundation, which is why my life is blessed. Yeah. But outside of that, I've never relied on them. So
we used to call in the bank.
So it doesn't, no, what difference does it make whether it doesn't make any difference? Because I wasn't getting anything from you anyway.
Do you feel like there was a greater expectation from your parents because you were earning a lot?
Well, for one, I'm not.
Because is that the question?
I'm not earning.
In a way, yeah.
I thought that was the question.
In a way,
like, did your parents expect more from you when you started earning?
It doesn't matter what they expect. I don't think you should give your parents money full stop, anyways. So that was something that I was happy to tell them. When they said,
these Twitter streets gonna be at you, honey.
I don't think that is a child's place to, when they're old and they can't look after themselves, and you look after them. Like one of the things I was looking for when I was looking for a house is to actually get one of those houses, like one of our bedrooms. Yeah, so that my parents could move in if and when need be. That was actually one of the things I was looking for, criteria when I was looking for a house. Yeah, yeah, but I didn't. The house not. Well, we'll get to that over there. So, so when they can't look after themselves, by all means, yes, that's part of it. But when they're cool and they're working, and it's like, oh, you're living out. So let's say for instance, I know you're at home with your folks.
Yes.
They might say, give me money. If I was in your position at your age, you're not yet 30, and they're saying, well, now that you've got a job and you're earning whatever, even if your parents are patting up 10 years left on the mortgage and they're cool, yeah, you need to give us money. My thing is, no, I shouldn't. You shouldn't have children to then start saying, give me money.
Give me money.
So I'm not going to do that because me and my wife have this discussion, again, going back to what I was saying before. Before we even had the child, we had the discussion about when she gets of age and she earns money, or he or she when we have a child, are we gonna take money from her? And I said no.
You asked this question before
before we ever got married. I discussed beating children. I discussed taking money from children.
All these communications.
This is what you're meant to have these kind of discussions before marriage.
Is the relationship guru.
He is.
Anyways,
you should have a separate podcast for that.
The answer is no. Anyways, so
I think for me personally, my parents have never asked me like, oh, well, now that you're earning this, you need to, they don't even know how much I earn. Like my parents don't ask me, oh, what's your salary? But I felt a responsibility when I did get a job and I was in full-time employment, like, okay, let me help a little bit. Like, even if they don't use it for anything, it just goes somewhere and they pay for, like, I don't know, they take it on holiday with them or whatever they're doing. I just felt a personal responsibility. Like, oh, actually, like, it would make sense to...
They've looked after you all that.
Yeah. Even, it's not a lot that I give them. Like, literally, the max I've ever given...
You don't need to expose your business.
I mean, it's not that deep.
Okay, go on.
The max that I've given is like £300 a month. And in comparison to what I earn, people would look at me like, you could probably give a bit more than... Yeah, but it's never...
More, and I damn sure was earning less than you. But
it wasn't anything, like, major, but... They're kind of just like, oh, okay, like that's responsible of you. Like we're appreciative of it. Okay. And I think I'm in a situation where, and I know I am blessed to be in this situation. Before anyone comes to me, I know I am blessed to be in this situation. But I've already been told that I have mortgage money from my parents. I don't need to worry too much about. So there's certain things where I'm like,
you would not be on the streets.
Yeah. So for me, even when I'm giving that money, I never ever give it spitefully. Even if there's stuff that I want, and I think, oh my gosh, like I could get that if I didn't give that money to mum and dad. I could have that this month.
So hold on, you have mortgage down payment now?
Not now. So the way my mum and dad have done it is they've kind of patterned their pensions.
Okay.
So they had, my mum had obviously her work pension, but she always had private pensions, and my dad did kind of the same thing.
Can I ask
So where they're getting older and getting to retirement age, they can take it out earlier, so on and so forth.
Can
Yeah.
I ask you? It's not a personal question,
That's
but
lovely.
are they okay?
Yes.
So it's
they
not
are
a case
fine.
that they're living in
Squalor.
the ghetto.
No. Like my mum works in accounting and finance, so
You see?
she's
So
very fortunate.
so
And my dad works he's a tradesman, but he gets big projects,
Yeah,
like
them man
big
make money.
projects.
Remember,
You are a rich family.
They're not find £1 million quite quick, you know.
Who my
No, they're
I
trade
wouldn't
people.
say that much.
The construction people.
Yeah,
They find
Just
yeah.
around
So he
850,
does pipe fitting and electrician.
850.
But there's a full bubble above her head when you said £1 million.
They
She said,
find
I
it
wouldn't say that
Yeah,
much.
get
And then
me.
the full bubble came out like, I was like, "What?"
850,000.
One woman at one workplace was telling me the other day, she was saying that she was chatting to me, she's like, my man works in construction. I didn't think anything of it. We was just chatting a little blah, blah, blah. And then one time my boss got on her nerves and she was like, anyway, I'll just leave this place. My husband's a millionaire. I said, I said, can you take me? Because we can go together. But again, the construction, they earn money.
But then I think, like, even though my mum and dad they earn good money, there's limits. Like, if I had to go to my mum and be like, "Oh, I want to buy this bag. Can you give me the money for this?"
She'll
She'll be
look at
like,
you
"You
with
are
a
mad."
side eye.
First of all, second of all, go to your room at your big age. Like, we're not spoiled. It's just that they've made it so that the hardest things in life, like saving a deposit for a house, because as everyone knows, that's a hard thing. They've got means in place to help us.
Yeah, because it's a different situation when your parents don't really need the money. But when you get to a point where your parents actually need the money,
yeah.
that's when it's a different kettle of fish.
I think there's been like one occasion where my dad said to me, like, I need you to lend me money. And that's because there's been death in the family and it was literally out of the blue.
Okay.
So like no one expected it. And then it's like, you have to pay for 6 people to go to Zimbabwe, which flights are nuts. And then it's been like, okay, cool. If you pay for your ticket, I'll give you the money back. So it wasn't even like, oh, you're going to pay for someone else. It was like, you need to pay for your ticket and then I'll give it back to you.
See it there? I like them parents there.
Never ever gave it back. I just said I have to go to this funeral anyway. I wouldn't miss the
Yeah, but
funeral
he's your
for the world.
father. So
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like-
no.
so he's-
My dad's a very proud man.
Yeah, exactly,
So for
your
him,
father.
it's kind of like, these are my children. I have to look after them. Like, I would die for them. Like, they can't be in a situation where they're struggling. And so, yeah. That's why I'm still at home. Because my mama be trying to get me out every week, but my dad be holding it down. Shout
I
out
want
dad.
my baby to stay at home.
No,
She stayed at home.
My mum is rude. She's like, oh, if I put a bomb under your bed, are you going to leave?
Yeah, because women don't like
No.
other women in the house for a long period of time.
No,
Just
my
did.
mum has grandchildren and she would like to turn the upstairs rooms into rooms for the grandchildren.
Can you imagine?
So they
love
can
doing
live there.
that. They love
It's
doing that.
rude.
Once the children have grandchildren, they just the children.
We're
they're
forgotten.
They're
You're
not
waste.
important anymore.
We're
waste,
forgotten.
yeah.
We're
You're
forgotten.
waste.
And it's because I'm the only child at home. I think it's kind of like, okay, go then.
Okay.
Like, move. Everyone else has got to move.
We want to walk around this house naked now.
So what about you, Mr. Wolf?
What's the question again?
So
For real.
do you think that the dynamics changed or
No.
would have changed if you was earning more money than your parents in the house?
No. I mean, no. When I was young, I was kind of hustling, doing illegal activity, man.
Wait, was you?
Yeah, because
He's from South.
they weren't giving
Allow
me money.
it.
Deets, yeah?
They, beats, bro. They weren't giving me money. It was them gyro ones.
Yeah, we know.
Wow.
Yeah. Why do you come find me, man? You know, I like to buy stolen goods. You know, I like to do that. Keep that.
You know, I used to work in certain places and yeah, it was nice. So now I was looking after myself from quite early financially. And, you know, my parents needed money and I would help when need be.
Yeah.
But you know that in itself is a change of a dynamic. So you see certain
But it was never an issue.
Yeah, but I'm saying, even if you see certain families where they've never really needed to, like a child's never needed to go out and get their own money, they have a different relationship at times with their parents than somebody that has to. Like I'll say one of the biggest things that I always see is people that do illegal things. So let's say selling drugs or whatever, yeah?
Illegal.
And there may be people that live in more of like a single parent home. Right?
Single parent.
So you're earning enough money to self-sustain yourself and at times even subsidize maybe the other parent that's not there in the monetary terms. So it almost becomes like you've got a stake in what goes on in that household. Whereas before, most children don't really have that stake. You're just a child. But because you're actually supplying money, you're taking away that need for that parent to supply for you. So all them trainers that you used to ask for, you never ask for it anymore. So you've got your own money. You go buy your own trainers. all that food that you used to ask for, you go and get your own food, blah, blah, blah. And then you're also giving them money on top. It's almost like you have that more of a say of what goes on in that household.
But I feel like that shouldn't have to be the case. And I think I'm with
look at the microphone, my friend.
Sorry, I'm with Stab on this in that I don't feel like a child should feel pressured to have to earn money to give to their parents. I don't feel like that should be the case, because in those cases, and I'm not generalizing, but from experience, what I've seen is that we have parents who, or some people have parents who, when they get to the age of being able to work, their parents all of a sudden want to stop working, even though they're still of the age to work. They've got like 20 years until they should be retiring. Their parents are like, oh, well, you're old enough to work. I don't want to have to work anymore. So you need to go and work and do it.
Do you know people like this?
And
I've never heard that
I've met two people who literally it's been a case of, oh, well, why should I work if you can work?
What kind of madness is that?
Goddamn,
But it's evidence of adulting being hard, right?
Right, it's evidence of
That's
absolutely
moving mad.
0 out of 10. But yeah, in those situations, I feel like that's when children become pressured to be out doing things that they shouldn't necessarily be doing, because the onus is on them. The onus is, well, now it's your responsibility to make sure that there's money in the house or there's food on the table and so on and so forth.
I saw this tweet. I don't know if I mentioned it last week or if I just mentioned it to the guys or whatever, but I saw a tweet where it was a young dude, he was 17, and he said, my EP's coming out next week, and he had a picture of him with his mum.
Dino.
And he's like, and I bought my mum a new house.
Oh, yeah,
so I'm celebrating the house, and my EP's coming out next week. And for better or for worse, the first thing that comes into my head is, it's not your responsibility to buy your mum's house. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I don't mean it to the mum. I just felt bad that, unfortunately, maybe I'm wrong, but I just assumed that wasn't there for bad reasons. Not that he just passed on or something like that. For me, it's just, the dad's run out and he's left the responsibility on to the children to now look after the mum. Where it's not, it shouldn't be his responsibility.
It's not
It
his.
is your responsibility to look after your parent. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, because
At any age?
So it's not your dad's. So it's not your dad's job to look after your mum.
I'm not saying that it's not your dad's job, but it's also your responsibility to look after your parent.
At 17.
At any age, you have a responsibility to look after your parent.
even the Bible says so.
I think that each circumstance is different though, Steph. So there are some parents who build a fortune. There's some parents who have worked well, planned well to be in a position where they don't need the help. And there's some parents who actually, due to circumstances beyond their control, and sometimes they literally fucked up and the planning was not an option, and they're in a position in their old age where they still need the help. So in situations like that, why wouldn't you do everything you can to try and help your parents? So in that instance, he may have bought his mother a house because maybe she's been living in a 2-bedroom council flat with loads of other family members for all her life, and she's never seen that kind of luxury.
So this is one time where I would like to finish, because I'm not saying is that he shouldn't.
Wait a minute. Let me finish.
What I'm saying is that it shouldn't be his responsibility to do that at 17. When, if, like I said, I don't know the circumstance, if there was another man there to contribute, and because of his wasteness, he's no longer there to contribute, then no.
Yeah, but what if he's there and he's not waste, and he just fell on hard times or whatever?
Or what people sometimes don't notice is that sometimes people have put themselves in a disposition just so you can prosper. So there's, let's say some parents that you see that have taken their child and tutored them to play football or something, and they could have gone and been certain jobs and done certain things, but they've gone out of their way to make sure that you are the best child that you can be. So then when you turn to 17, you have £300,000 a week footballing job. And I'm not going to say to you, well, after I've taken all this time to go and spend my time and invest in you, that you can't buy me.
One second. The situation I gave was a situation I gave. Any other situation is another situation.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Courtney. So I'm not talking about that.
I think we all, and I think most people will say that if they so happen to come into a windfall where they, received a large amount of money or they started to make a lot of money, they would obviously treat their parents to stuff, because that's what we do. We like to buy our parents nice things. We feel like they're deserving of those things. It might be send them on holiday to their dream destination. It might be buy them a house, pay off their mortgage. It might be, I don't know. There's just so many things that you can do for them. But that's a sign of your gratitude towards them. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Now that I'm in a position where financially I can blow money on you, this is what I'm going to do.
I think maybe what I said, maybe it comes across wrong. So I'll put it a different way. Me as a father, if my daughter, if I'm around, I'm alive and I can work, yeah, and my daughter has to buy a house for my wife, then I failed as a father. That's how I look at it.
And there's a lot of failed
That's how I
fathers
look
out
at it.
there.
So that's what I was talking
See,
about.
you could say like that.
That's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a situation where you've come into some money and you're treating your parents, or your parents have sacrificed everything to make sure that because they put to private school and they put you through this and that class, and then when you've now succeeded in that, because they didn't go and live their life and enjoy it and buy a house because they put all that money they invested in you, and now you're returning that investment. I'm not talking about that either. I'm just talking about both parents were cool, and because one parent decided I'm not taking responsibility, then the child had to step up and fill in that gap. I don't think it's not fair on the child.
No, I agree with that.
All right, so it's not fair on a child, but then you said you think you failed as a father.
If it was me and my daughter has to do something for my wife that I should have done as a husband, then I failed in it.
Okay, but then you can also look at that, again, like you said with your tweet earlier about perspective, you could look at it that you've made a contribution to raising somebody who understands the importance of certain things, and they've come back now and they've done it.
No, I should have done it. If I didn't do it, then I failed.
See, I don't.
Doesn't matter.
I think that's a personal
It's got
thing,
nothing to do with the.
I don't like that.
I think that's
That's
a personal
personal. That's
thing.
very personal.
I think that is a personal thing.
But that's what I said. There are some men and women out there, due to circumstances beyond their control, and sometimes circumstances that they are in control of, and they've messed up. You get me? So they're in a position where maybe they should have invested here, or they should have bought a house at that point, and they made mistakes.
Yeah.
You get me? And they 65 going on 70, and they still got maybe 5-10 years on their mortgage, and they're struggling with a little part-time job.
Yeah.
You get me? And they have a child who is, or a child who's maybe 25, 30, who is earning a lot of money, and that child is looking at their struggling parent and thinking, you know what, I need to help out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, that the parent there has failed. If that's your definition of failure, then fair enough.
For me, because I don't want my child to have to do anything like that. If they choose, if that's how my life is set out. So all this planning and all this and that, I'm planning my life in a way that my child should never have to do that. And if my child has to do that because I couldn't do it, then I failed.
Then by that definition, there's a lot of failed.
That's what I said. There's a lot of failed fathers.
I think it's a personal definition. Though.
Of failures.
But then this is the difference. This is what I was talking about last week. The bit I got cut off. That people just the words that people are using, it seems to offend people all the time, and I just don't like that word.
Because I don't
But
think it's a failure.
So if you wanted to do something and you didn't do it, then you failed.
But I see it as
No parent wants their
saying-
children to have to. Well, some people do, but
for me, it's too totality. You're a failure of a parent. Maybe you failed that task.
that's what I said. I
But
failed.
Yeah, but the way you said, I'm a failure. You said as a parent, you're a failure. Like you're a.
All right, okay, fine.
and that for me,
I hear what Big Wahala saying.
Yeah, I get
I'm not gonna go and pretend like our parents, because we know our parents are not rich, yeah, and they've done stuff that some of the stuff that you're saying is failure now, as they've done, right?
In that part,
So
they failed in that part.
let me finish talking, right? But I would say there's so many other things in my life that they've instilled in me, even to the point where I feel like I've got to the point where I could do what they asked me to do or do whatever the situation. That for me means that you can't be seen as a failure because you've instilled all these other things from me. That particular thing you could have done better. Like, so for me as a parent, my parents could have done better by teaching us language or by even being a bit more financial literacy, maybe giving us more of that. Even though they did tell us to save forever, we never did it. Yeah. So, but I wouldn't then call them a failure of a parent because
It's personal though. He considers himself a failure.
But okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let's even take it out myself. In those aspects, then I'm taking away from my parents. But if you wanna superimpose them on the situation, then fine. I'm not gonna argue with you, but do that in your own head. If a parent, I know what my parents feel, and I doubt it's any different than what I feel in terms of what they feel they should be doing as a parent.
Probably,
right?
yeah.
So if I plan or decide that when I have this child, it's my responsibility to do X, Y, and Z, and I only do X and Y. In Z, I have failed. It's just that simple. I can panic. I can say pretty words if I want to use pretty words, but this Z was something I wanted to do, and I failed in that task. Now, my child could be happy. They could be well fed. They could be well educated. They could be all as happy as they want to be. They could even see that Z. Oh, Daddy, don't say you failed in Z. And I feel so happy in life, and it doesn't matter what they say because I failed in it. That's the end of it.
So if your child is happy, you're also gonna dwell on the failure.
No, I'm not. I just know that Z is a failure. I think you're so stuck on what? All right, then. It's the same way when I was talking about the life is not hard and kind of thing, because I look at things as a total. Now, if I failed in 1 out of 10 things, then I'll say I'm winning. So when I'm saying I'm winning in life and I don't see it as hard, because I know that in the big scheme of things, in the big wide world, with the 8 billion people in the world, I'm up there in the top billion people, probably top 100 million people in terms of success, or my idea of success anyways. Everybody's got a different idea of success. So I can't spit in the face of my success and say I don't, and it's hard, because I'm looking at the other 7.9 billion people that are beneath me in whatever way. I don't mean it in a bad way, but I'm looking down on them in terms of how much I make, in how happy I am, in what I can do, in the wife I have, in a healthy child. And then I'm just going to say like it's hard. No, man, because I am winning, but I want a bigger house. And I can't afford a bigger house. So I flopped in not getting a big house. But then you can look at it a different way. But at least you're getting a house. Some people can't get a house. And then I would look at that as well. But I know what I want. There's a house down the road. It's 1.5 million. I can't afford that house. So I flopped.
But can you afford the Queen's Child Project?
What I'm saying is that one more time.
I can look at things individually and at the whole thing.
The grand scheme.
Fair enough. Mr. Web Swinger, are you in the building?
Queenstown Child Project.
Webs.
Maybe I'll cut him off. Hold on.
Wow.
No, you haven't cut me off, you black bastard.
Okay, so what do you feel? And then we can jump onto simple after that. Do you have you ever been in a situation where you feel like the dynamics of your household have changed due to the money to a situation that you've been in?
You just said this one saying you had corn in the cupboard.
No, I don't think so. I mean, because at the end of the day, even if the financial dynamics have changed, you're still my parents and I respect you. So there's nothing. Without you giving birth to me, I wouldn't be able to be in the position I'm in now anyway.
So you never thrown the bills at your parents and said, look, take the bills.
Oh.
Take that. 10 million in the month. Take it.
No, why would I?
Take that.
At a party, I might spray them, but that's it.
I'm with what Webbs is saying. Because you're my parents, finance has got nothing to do with the fact that you're always above me. It doesn't matter how much money I make. You're always above me. Always.
Yeah, you're always above me in a respect level.
So the finances mean nothing.
No, but it does, because would you okay, so let's say that your parent that you've had this discussion with, that you said has not necessarily had the best financial situation, so they haven't been able to do what you've asked them to do regarding your house and all this stuff. Yeah. Would you respect their discussion with them about a financial situation? If they were starting to tell you about, if they're going to start telling you about shares and what you should invest and how you should deal with your money, would you respect them, knowing that you make more money than them?
Again, you can look at the individual and the totality. So I respect my parents as the fact they're parents, but they're not going to know more than me about everything. So there's certain things they know more than me about, and if finances they don't know more than me about, then they don't know more than me about finances. That's
exactly. Your parents will always be giving you advice on how to better your life because they want you to do better than they did. But it doesn't mean anything like in any other respect that you should disrespect them because of this. If my mum and my dad couldn't pay the light bill and I had to pay the light bill, it doesn't mean they failed.
Well, to Stab it does. But anyway.
Stab walks his own path, and sometimes you have to question his path. But if that's the way he wants to look at things, that's the way he wants to look at things. We're all individuals, isn't it? We're all going to look at things differently.
That's it.
And that's why we have these debates and this discussion, because we all have a different outlook on how we see how life works for us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a different outlook on pussy?
Wow.
Where did that come from?
Before you jump on, let's simple see it. Then, yeah.
I want to hear what Holland's views, man. But go on,
I've said my view.
So the dynamic, again, is subject to the individuals that are in play, innit? So it's the person who's the child and the person who's the parent, because we can't put a blanket out there and say that every single parent is the same. There are some parents that the moment the news that their child is earning more than they are happens, then all of a sudden their financial responsibilities in that space increase, and there is a dependence on them to do that and an expectation. So there are, again, it's an individualistic assessment to make, because there are I know of parents that are like that. Oh yeah, you're earning this amount of money. Why aren't you paying for this? Why aren't you paying for that? And all the rest of it. And then it just becomes the child's responsibility by default. In my own personal circumstance, it didn't change much in the dynamic of my household too much. I made a declaration. I came out and I was like, yo, I'd like to.
It looked like it was gay.
Yeah. I'm coming out. You know what I'm saying? I want the world to know. I came out and I was like, yeah, so like I'm earning some money now and I would like to make some kind of contribution. I don't know how much the contribution is, but I would like to make the contribution. So with that now,
Break me off a little.
yeah, that exercise came with a declaration of how much are you actually making. Yeah.
Oh, so you had that discussion with your dad?
Yeah, I had to have the discussion with my dad because it's like, well, when I came to have the conversation, he already knew how much I earned because I was working with one of his friends.
You open your paycheck.
No, I was working with one.
Do it, boy.
I was working with one of his friends, so he kind of knew how much I was getting anyway. But so the declaration was more about his ability to assess what my with money is, what my appetite for money is.
Which man you texting?
So
I'm going on Twitter.
so I sent him. I told him that, and then he worked out what he thought was enough. I didn't think it was enough, but he said it was okay. So I was like, all right, cool. And then so then from there, I kind of have each job that I've got and each pay increase or pay rise that I've got, I made adjustments for what I thought was good to the amount of money that I was given. So the money's been gradually going up and whatever. And it's just been on some bad man thing like, don't fucking come in my room now. Do you know what I mean? Them kind of things there. So
Wow.
it's just been like that. So not entirely. What go on?
Why are you
Fair enough.
playing music?
Your phone's ringing.
Is his phone is ringing, bro?
My phone display ringing.
Oh, okay.
No,
Right,
he's
yeah,
muted.
yeah.
Press the side button. The side button.
Yeah, so it's been like that. It's and it's just gradually gone up until I eventually moved out. So
cut off webs.
yeah, that's just it.
That's fair enough.
Very cool. Cool. All right. You want to go to the next thing?
I had a random video, but I'm not sure if it's appropriate.
Yeah, it's long. Go on.
Okay. We have the Kuwaiti slaves thing. Hold on, before we move on to anything.
See, he's even laughing. Let me play it up.
That thing there.
You can't play.
Have you not heard it yet? I was when I put the group. The thing I put in the group. Oh, what is?
Play it.
It's been a
Your pussy! Hey, bring the camera, son. Bring the camera. All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your smooth pussy,
make me laugh, you know.
your pussy and tight pussy perish with you. Your pussy.
All right, enough.
Why did he just go for the gallop?
I don't know,
man.
but he sounded like he was at a dance.
He did. It sounded like one of them.
One of them
The bashman, the bashman. What? We don't come again.
That was on the pulpit, by the way, for
Yeah, that is blatantly
For everyone.
church.
That's in church, man.
I
That's
don't understand
nuts,
this matter.
I think it was your people as well.
At some point,
You should allow it.
we need to go to the
no, East African.
Oh, okay, cool. Go on.
John Witherspoon. I just want to
Oh,
rest in
sad
peace,
guy.
man.
Yeah, we just want to say rest in peace.
bang, 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 bang.
Coordinate. You know, we gotta coordinate. For those that don't know John Witherspoon, he was the dad in Friday. He
In
was
everything.
also the dad in Boomerang. We're talking about old school films here.
Granddad.
Your granddad in the Boondocks.
Granddad in the Boondocks, and what else?
He's
What
pops
else
in
was
the Marlon Wayne's program.
Wayne's
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
So he is an old school comedian, you know, but he was something special, man. Very, very funny stand-up comedian as well. So
I know, listen to his
some
stand-up,
people
you know.
may not have seen his stand-up. He very funny, and I missed his stand-up appearance back in the day, man, in Clapham Junction, grand.
If I have time, I will do a little collection of clips and insert it here.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator. Well, the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate. So you got to coordinate. Yes, that's what you did. Yeah. How many times have I told you better not even dream about telling white folk the truth? Shoot. You better learn how to lie like me. I'm gonna find me a white man and lie to him right now. Boy, bring your ass off up in here. What you talking about? You wait till I come out. I smelled your shit for 22 years. Now you can't smell mine for 5 minutes. Now, Marcus, I hear a girl at the office got you pussy whipped. Why don't you reverse it? Don't be pussy whipped. Whip that pussy. Look. Bang, 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 bang. If I'm lucky, I'll find myself a nice white woman with a flat booty who will listen to my problem. Bang, bang, bang. Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes. Somebody open the window. Bang, bang, bang. This is what makes you a man. When I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day.
Turn this shit off.
And if I don't have time or can't be bothered, then
You'll just hear a
there was
pause.
just nothing that happened there.
That was one of the pet peeves on that Twitter thing that you showed.
Yeah.
What's that?
Saying that you're saying something going, not doing whatever it is or cutting it off.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
as far as
child, that irritates me. That's another topic for
I
another
might,
day.
yeah. In fact, I might actually go into that.
Let's
That's
give
right.
congratulations to Lewis Hamilton as well.
Oh, did he win?
Why?
He came second, but he's won
He's won the
Formula
championship.
One championship for the sixth time.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
like to see black people doing things that white people don't like.
He's going to what? He's in there Schumacher now, yeah?
He's on 6, Schumacher's on 7.
No. I mean, what? What do you mean? I mean,
I don't know about all of that.
Go,
Why? What's it-
girl.
How
Speak
about
your
that?
mind, girl.
I don't know if he feels the same about the people as you do, honey.
Oh, you don't think you feel like a black?
not.
Absolutely
Probably not. I've heard that quite a lot, but
What's going on?
but in essence,
Louis Hamilton,
sorry,
not feeling as a
explain. Just flesh that out, and then I'll
I
come
think
back.
it's fantastic supporting athletes of colour, if that's what you want to say. And I think it's great that we do. But I think when they have personality traits or they display toxic behaviours, we shouldn't necessarily encourage them.
So what did he do?
He's been known as someone who sulks. He loses, he sulks. His teammate does something that he doesn't like, it's a sulk. And
Yeah,
you
but that's
see it
winners
in,
though, isn't it?
but you see it in how he drives, you see it in his attitude when he comes off to do interviews and stuff.
Well, you gotta
For
say
me,
you beat somebody or something, you know, he's sulking.
For me personally, that's not what a sportsman or woman should be like. You should be a graceful loser. If you're going to be in sports, I feel like you should be able to be a graceful loser because there's people out there who aspire to beat you. And teaching or behaving in that way is kind of showing them the how you shouldn't behave. And I know that everyone will say, I'm not here to be a role model. Just because they do this doesn't mean that they signed up to be a role model. But when you have that much influence, I think you should at least try and be mindful about how you behave.
Are you
so the
Serena supporter?
tantruming, she also tantrums.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She's a fantastic athlete. I agree. And there's no one better in the world than her. And the people who beat her, I say all the time, it's literally by fluke. It's by fluke. I don't think you've actually beat her because you beat her. It's just she's been lucky that day. She's having an off day and consequently you're up. But sometimes she does things which are inappropriate.
I think for sports,
On the court.
I think sportsmen and women kind of display their personality in their sport. You can even go as far as saying someone like Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
He was the most, and Jose Mourinho, the sorest of sore losers.
Crazy.
And when they do lose, it's a big thing. It's everybody else's fault. They don't take responsibility onto themselves. But getting on to Lewis Hamilton, I got to give him his accolades because I like the idea of any black man, mixed race that he is, that is in a sport that is predominantly white and you don't see black people around there.
Absolutely.
And he is winning. And he's not just won once, he's done it 6 times.
What's the last major sport that a black person has not been shown to form some form of dominance?
We saw
Equestrian.
just the other day.
man.
We saw just the other day the Muslim young black lady, I think it was about 18, who won a race, a horse race. I forget her name now, but
sick.
yeah, that's what I'm
didn't see
saying.
that.
So she was the first black woman to win a flipping.
But I'm talking about a
race.
major sport.
Horse racing is kind of major. Some people
velodrome, the
Kind of
Cycling.
the cycling. We ain't gone there yet.
cycling, swimming.
I don't know if that's
We got
major.
We've got to check the Olympics.
We got Simone.
It's not black
Is it
people.
Giles
Yeah,
or
there's a lot
Biles?
of-
What's her name? Simone Biles.
Gymnast. Yeah,
she's
she's
mashing up
gymnast.
gymnastics. There was one black guy that mashed up the swimming pool the other day.
Yeah, but I don't know if
a
they're
black
major.
woman as well.
I don't know if they're major sports. I'm talking about major.
Swimming's a
So
major
give
sport.
me your major. then.
So I would say the major sports would be golf, football,
Tennis,
boxing.
But Tiger Woods,
Basketball.
okay, Tiger Woods was of mixed
Basketball.
descent. but
NFL.
I'm
Tiger
talking about
Woods-
ones that are, when I say major sports, I mean the ones that are watched by the majority of the world.
Millions and
Yeah.
millions.
Athletics, I suppose you put it in a group, then just athletics. But I'm talking about like major sports. I don't think there's any left now that blacks have not shown some form of dominance in.
Yeah, no, that's true. So it's
Male tennis.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
back
that's
in
a
the
fair
day,
point.
Arthur Ashe.
Rugby.
Since then,
Rugby.
Rugby, South Africa just won yesterday. What
And
do you
with,
mean?
with a black captain.
with a black captain.
But there's
First
only
time
there's only
ever.
7 black people in that 31-man squad.
But the black one was the captain.
Okay.
Listen.
That's a great
I'm
success
the
story.
captain now.
That's a big
That's a
thing,
great
man.
success story. So whilst we're congratulating, big up the South African
But a
rugby
lot of
team.
South African blacks were like,
We're not
not
supporting
my
it.
team.
Yeah, 7 out of 31. It's not good. If
Right,
you got
it's an elitist sport that excludes black people, which is you have the majority of the people in this country are black, and like you said, 7 out of what, 20 something?
31.
30 something. So there's a reason it's that ratio. Not because we're not as good sportsmen as you. So,
I get that.
So that's not my team. But that's what the South African,
Fair.
Yeah, I've seen
It's a
it.
fair point.
But
It's a
for
fair
me, I'm a half glass full kind of guy. And I co-sign what you're saying, and it makes perfect sense. 7 out of 30, however
7 out
it
of
is.
31, man. If you got that on an examination, you'd be pissed.
Yeah, I know. But what we're talking about is, one, the leader of the 31 is a black man, and he isn't just a regular leader. He's a bad boy captain. And the other thing is that there are youngsters and those out there who will see it as an elitist sport, not for us. They send us away when we come. But look at those guys. I can aspire to be that. And that's why I like the likes of your Lewis Hamiltons, even your Tiger Woods, who doesn't claim to be what he is or whatever, and other black athletes who are in sports that we are not really hold a majority in. You know, you got your basketball and your football and things like that, American football, where there's loads of blacks, but you look at tennis and motorsports and things like that, you don't really see us. And I like it when we're dominant and when we do well.
It is
Fair
fantastic.
enough.
It's a big deal. So congratulations to Lewis
Okay.
anyway.
So
Moving on.
let's talk about this Kuwait business.
Ooh,
Kuwait.
child, my blood is boiling
Do
already.
you know? Yeah?
Speak.
The social media thing.
I don't know what's going on.
Social media.
Let's have introduced the thing.
I'm actually going to play a clip, actually.
Oh my God.
Actually going to play a clip, actually.
It's a long one, actually, so bear with me. And
Is
I'm
it
gonna-
longer than a minute?
Yeah. But if you
Let's
want,
see
if you,
Big Wahala now.
if you want me to stop it, then I'll stop it. But
man's
bear with
gone
me.
green.
I'm going to edit this bit, so everyone just be quiet.
Silicon Valley's tech companies are enabling an illegal online slave market. That's what an investigation by BBC News Arabic found, that some domestic workers are being sold on apps available on Google Play and the Apple App Store, as well as via Facebook-owned Instagram. On these apps, the BBC undercover team in Kuwait found dozens of women and a child being sold for a few $1,000s alongside TVs and cars. A United Nations expert on slavery said the BBC's evidence showed a violation of laws on modern slavery, human slavery, and forced labor by the app users. Jess Kelly reports.
I'm calling about the maid you advertised on the internet.
Trust me, she's very nice. She laughs and has a smiley face. Even if you keep her till 5 a.m., she won't complain.
We're in Kuwait, undercover, investigating a booming black market in domestic workers. We arranged to meet a policeman who's selling us his khadama, or maid, using a popular commodity app called For Sale.
Which floor?
She's African, right?
He's taking part in what has been called an illegal online slave market, facilitated by Silicon Valley's biggest tech companies.
What's her name?
Sarah, this is what we call her. I don't know what her real name is.
So holidays are a definite no-no?
Where would she go? It's impossible. It's never happened. No telephone or going outside. What if, God forbid, tomorrow she goes out and sleeps with someone?
So, yeah, that's just a news report. There's many more examples of them doing this. They're saying no, you're not allowed to give them their passport. You're not allowed to give them their, keep that with you.
Yeah.
In Kuwait, the people are not allowed to leave. Mm-hmm. If you're one of these workers, you're not allowed to leave by law unless your employer says you're allowed to go.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a slavery thing, but that is part of the law. They're now saying they're looking to change these kind of laws after this report has been brought to the Kuwaiti government, because apparently the Kuwaiti government has been trying their hardest to stop these kind of things. But that's what the government are saying. But it is part and parcel of the life there. Also, Saudi Arabia, they do discuss that later on in the thing. It's a couple of minutes. I didn't want to play it and just get everyone all upset.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is that keep them indoors, and these people a lot of them are from African countries and from, it's not Thailand, it's somewhere, sorry?
Malaysia?
Maybe it's Malaysia.
Indonesia.
One of those countries, I'm so sorry,
Southeast
but
Asia.
I'm black and so that's what I don't care about. But it's one of those people from them sides as well. So it's like, that's where the majority of these people are
So the whole thing to me is mad. Absolutely insane.
few thousand, like 2,000-3,000. This is what they're selling them for on apps.
What I don't like is that people only talk about this now. The BBC did a report. It was probably earlier on this year, actually, if my memory serves me right, where they were talking specifically about Black African girls who were being sold under false pretenses.
I saw that.
So they were being told, oh, you're going to be a maid, you'll have your own room in the house, like all you have to do is look after the kids and do this, that. When they got there, their passports were being confiscated.
Yeah.
And they were being told, well, you're here now, you can't go anywhere. What are you going to do? Go to your embassy, what are they going to do for you? And they would be told to kind of leave everything at home because, oh yeah, no, when you want a holiday, you just say like when you want a holiday. So that was even under false pretenses. There was no disclaimer like, oh, well, when you get here, you're not going to have your passport. It was literally like, yeah, no, you're going to have your freedom and stuff. You're literally just coming here to work, earn money to send back to your family, and you can live a normal life outside of your working hours. And then they were getting there and being basically bamboozled into slavery because that's what it is. It's modern day slavery.
Yeah. And as I was searching for, because I heard this report on the BBC, and I know any report you hear, they always put it online. So as I was searching for it, I put BBC Kuwait slave. I found an article from 2009.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that it's just being told. It's that they once in a blue moon they bring it up because for some reason it's come to their attention.
10-year anniversary.
But this is an ongoing thing.
I think we need to be mindful of the fact that it doesn't just happen in the Middle East as well. No. I've heard of situations where there might be foreign internationals here where their passports have been confiscated or their
in this country?
Yeah,
in the UK.
their bosses or whatever you want to call them, know that they haven't necessarily got the right status to be in the country, and that's used as a threat against them. Like, oh, well, you have to stay and work for me because where are you going to go otherwise?
Yeah, they do prostitution as well.
Yeah, or they say to them, oh, well, I'll report you if you try and leave and work elsewhere.
Yeah, those people smuggling. Those 49 people, wherever it was that
39.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think
they were going to be used to work for something.
Yeah. But I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that they've known about it for so long, and it's only now people like the United Nations are starting to intervene because I'm sure they've been privy to it prior to this story coming out.
I'm pretty certain there's some political thing behind this.
Absolutely. You have to think about Saudi and just the Arab Emirates in general and how much money they have and how much oil they produce and how many weapons they produce and for what countries they produce weapons
they're having arguments with certain
They don't even produce weapons. They buy the weapons from us.
Well, at the moment they're not because they're having arguments with.
I think they're having arguments with America and
Yemen. There was somewhere.
They'll still sell them the weapons.
Business is business. Like I think what we have to understand is when it comes to people who are higher up, greed is a thing. So for them, okay, they might not agree with your political views, but if there's money to be made, they're going to make the money.
Of course. I remember not long ago when they had that report about the Ghanaian woman that got her head chopped off because of the babysitting situation in Saudi Arabia. I think that was again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even see that.
They brought up. So basically, they was looking after one of their children or something because they always bring them in as nannies or whatever. Yeah. And I think the child hurt himself or something like that.
Mad.
So then they chopped
off
her head.
Down the stairs.
Mad.
Yeah, so they chopped off her
Mad.
head. So I think that was one where they started investigating again at some point this slave labor laws.
Yeah, because we spoke about this last year.
I don't remember there was the woman that was hanging off the building. There was a woman that was trying to hang off the building because she was trying to run away from her employers, as they call it, and then she slipped off the building.
No, they were laughing at her. They were recording her as she was hanging off the
window ledge.
And they recorded. That went on social media, went viral, and then that's when we started discussing.
But I feel like the saddest part about it is that it doesn't just boil down to slavery. A part of it as well is these women get there and they think they're going to be maids or whatever. And even when they get to a point where they realize, okay, I can't really go anywhere without asking permission, they're still okay with it because they're still making their money, which they can send home to their family. But it's then when they become everything on top of that. So they then become sexually abused, which we know happens a lot of time in those situations. The husbands of the family will feel like, okay, well, because you're my maid, you are also my sex slave to have as and when I please. And then they get into those issues because, again, the way that the systems work out there, you will then have wives who are kind of envious of you because why is my husband sleeping with you? Even though it's rape, it's not even, voluntary sex or consensual sex. Then it will become an issue. Then you have obviously someone who has something out for you. On top of dealing with the fact that actually, even if I wanted to get out of here, I couldn't. And it's really, really sad. I think trying to put it as just the one, they're being made slaves. We have to think of all the other things that we're going through. And to say, oh, okay, we're looking into changing the laws to do something about it isn't good enough. It doesn't cut it.
But the word slave almost captures all of that stuff that you talk. Well, depending on how you're looking at the word slavery, kind of captures all of the stuff that you're talking about in one category. Because I don't know, man. It's like one of those things. Like, how could in this day and age, you can understand the black market. Maybe people are getting smuggled in and they're doing stuff like that underneath the black. But you're saying that they're doing it on like an eBay basic site.
Yeah, like,
that's mad.
But apps have a responsibility. If apps can be held responsible for, what was the problem with Cambridge Analytica? Basically, sharing data with people who we didn't know data was being shared. You're telling me that we can't hold them accountable when there's people who are being basically trafficked and pimped.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
As a result of their platform.
So here's the thing. Here's where I was looking at it like it's quite divisive, yeah? Because the point you're making there about holding the social media platforms responsible for it. When there's a bank robbery, we don't sit up and say, oh yeah, if the getaway car was an Audi, we don't say Audi has some responsibility for this. They built a car. What the people do with the car is not up to them entirely. They built a car for a certain function, but if they take that car and do something else with it, how can we now have responsibility for that?
I disagree with it.
So the Instagrams and all the rest of it
is a good discussion.
They have what they're built for what their purpose is. And when you're in product and building new products, there's two things that happen. One is you have an idea for a solution a problem that you're trying to fix. Mm-hmm. You create that product and you put it out there with the spirit of fixing that problem. What normally happens is your audience use that thing for what they think it should be used for. And sometimes that's different for what the purpose of the thing is.
They have a responsibility to make sure that they're monitoring and filtering out those things.
Yeah, but then
because I'm sure if Audi knew that 9 out of 10 robberies, it was an Audi car that was used as a getaway car, they would do something to stop that. They would do something. They would either have serial numbers on stuff, or they would make it so that something on the car was noticeable. Some sort of something, so that it was like, okay, cool. We've seen that actually our car seems to be the car of choice in the use of getaway vehicles. So to prevent that happening and to prevent whatever it may be, cash loss, people getting injured and so on and so forth, we're going to take this responsibility to do this. Mercedes-Benz do the same thing. If you look at a Mercedes-Benz, your car parts are signed off by the person who engineered it in their factory in Germany. So if there's ever a problem with your car, you send it back to the person who basically manufactured it. I think they could have a certain models, but I think they could have a way of traceability. And they have a responsibility to monitor stuff. If they can, let's be real. If we can make it such a big deal that, bullying, online cyberbullying and so on and so forth, really, we're not going to make a big deal about slavery and sex trafficking. Really? Are we really going to say, oh, okay, well, no, because bullying is bullying, we should intervene and do stuff to stop that happening. But okay, we can't really blame Apple and so on and so forth because they're not really allowing it. It's just happening anyway.
So no, here's what I'm saying to you. You made a point about, you're saying 9 out of 10 of the Audi cars is the one that's been.
That's not
I know
facts,
I know it's not
Audi,
facts. I know it's not.
It's
not facts, but you're saying basically the essence of what you're saying is if they find out there's a majority happening with this car, then they would be expected to do something about it. If we look at this particular case that's happening, you're talking about social media platforms that have 1 billion people on them. So this, as a percentage of activity on that platform, probably doesn't even make up 1%. So then how much of a problem is it?
But then if you know the app is there, why would you still allow it to be there? Because I think that's what they said. It was Apple and the apps were found on Apple and Google Play.
Yeah, and I don't think they were, I'm not too sure what type of apps they were.
Sorry.
But these are apps that are available in these countries. They're not available.
But what are they? What type of apps are they?
They're app like an eBay kind of thing.
They're eBay. So this is the thing.
Or
Sorry,
like
just before you just go on. With all those types of situations, with those particular types of apps, if you're trying to sell something on those particular types of apps, you have to go through some form of thing.
You have to fill out your details.
Because I know the whole thing. In each case, first Apple and Google respectively said, well, it's not our responsibility, kind of like the apps sell things. We don't.
Yeah, I want to blame them.
The actual apps themselves, all of them have gone through and deleted either the accounts or the actual accounts of the people. Mm-hmm. They've added different kind of filters and whatnot to check it, because as far as I understand, one of them actually has like a section, and they've taken the section off, and the section was basically for help. So it would be, so let's say before we all scrunch our faces and be like, huh? Imagine you have what's that checker trade kind of thing? Something similar to that, but it's if you need house help.
Yeah,
there was
maids and professional services.
Yeah, there was a section for help. So they've got rid of that whole section now because under that section, it's not people putting themselves up necessarily, or maybe there were people saying, I am happy to go in this area and work and do this and that for this amount of money. People are putting their slaves and saying, I have a slave to sell for 3,000 and she's this age and she'll do X, Y, and Z. So because it's being misused, they have now just deleted that section.
Fabulous.
Completely.
Great.
So there
That's
were
what
moves
they all
made.
need to do.
Yeah. So now it needs to be more, but that's the apps. It's not that things are not still going. You can go down to the road and your bedroom is still going to say,
yeah,
how much for her?
Yeah.
So it comes down to.
I could see why Apple and Google Play might say it's not our responsibility. I could see why.
Yeah. Sorry, but
And this is mad for me because I actually agree with them on this one. I do like.
But then the apps have a responsibility. The app owners have a responsibility. I can understand why Apple and Google can distance themselves from it because it's true. Like you put an app on there, they haven't got people to sit around the whole day probably and go through every single app and see what every single app is doing. If it's doing what it said it would do and so on and so forth. If they're doing anything dodgy, but definitely the people who own the apps have a responsibility to make sure that whatever is going down on the app is not illegal. People aren't being traded illegally. People aren't being traded as slaves. And it doesn't just boil down to selling of people, to selling of whatever, firearms, drugs, whatever. Things that shouldn't be sold because it's illegal. I feel like it's wrong. And they do have a responsibility. If I own an app and my app is to sell cars and then I go on there and I realize that people are selling dodgy motors with engines which are going to blow up and kill people as soon as they drive off the driveway, I have a responsibility to say, actually, you can't sell on my site anymore and I'm reporting you to the authorities so that they can watch what you're doing and make sure that it doesn't happen again.
I think that...
Onus.
I hear what people are saying and I kind of... technically, you are correct. It's not really their responsibility, but we're talking about the trafficking of human beings here. We're talking about slavery. So I think it kind of... it's outside the normal dynamic of, okay, this is on my platform, but the apps are the ones who are solely responsible. How do we know that the people that are building these apps are not part of the whole slave ring as well? You know, how do we know that?
That's a fair point.
Yeah, my issue is that if, I don't know, you've got, you know, technology is it's in a high place at the moment where you can get your app developers or whoever to do anything you want. If you play a song on Instagram or on Facebook, it gets flagged up. Do you have permission to play this song? You get me? So when someone, that's what I'm saying. So when someone is trafficking people, you know, when slavery is a thing, when abuse is happening on such a major platform as the App Store, Google Play, and then they're just gonna step sideways and say, "Nah, it's their responsibility, it's not ours." I think that's just way out of order.
Yeah. Now that you put it that way, that is kind of mad.
Yeah, it's a cop out. The only way that they would say that, "Oh, I'm gonna do something about it," is if it costs them money. So if it is costing them money, if it has some kind of an impact on their flipping financial status. Other than that, you know, people don't care about these things, and it's unfortunate that if that app gets shut down, or if that part of the app gets shut down, it's unfortunate that another app will pop up in some way, shape, or form.
So you guys are basically saying that you're all right for your privacy to be encroached upon in order to allow the safety of people that are using the platform. That's basically what we're saying.
But that's what it is anyway. Your privacy is already being encroached. As soon as you accept that particular thing because you accept your privacy data to be whatever, then it's already been kind of encroached.
It's like stop and search in a different kind of way.
In a digital sense.
Yeah. You know, are you okay to be stopped and searched to prevent maybe the two guys over there that's got a knife and for that to be taken away, because they are going to stop people who have nothing and who are innocent, but at the same time they're going to be stopping people who have knives on them. You know, it's a catch-22, man. But I don't know, it's a hard one, but you know, technically it's not really their responsibility. But when you're talking about something as big and as major as that, I don't know, man. I think that they should do something about it, in my opinion.
Bang, bang.
Webbs, the last word on this then.
Yeah, there was sex trafficking before the internet. There'll be sex trafficking after the internet. It's people that need to be held responsible for their actions, not the tools that were made.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
God damn.
And on that note, that poignant note,
bitches,
we will end this episode. So let's start off with Webbs, so he can piss off. Give us your socials and whatnot.
But he does the ending, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you have to.
It was a pleasure being a part of the conversation, even though I didn't say much. A lot of you lot were chatting shit half the time, but it's all good anyway.
Shut up.
DJ Webslinger on Instagram, DJ Webslinger on Twitter. I will see you blacks next time.
Stay there. We have Simple Simon.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. I got a book recommendation. I finally finished The Audacity of Hope by Barack Obama. God damn, foul this year. But in between the time that I started that book and finished it, I read another book, which is called The Truth About Employee Engagement, by Patrick Lencioni. For those of you who think you may know it already, this is actually a reball. It was initially put out as The 3 Signs of a Miserable Job. I think they probably decided to change the title because, you know, that one's a bit explosive. So yeah, it's called, The Truth About Employee Engagement. It's a really decent book about, the ideas of basically adulting from from an employment point of view. The 3 considerations that you as an employee would like to have to make your life better or what have you. Decent book, nice little read. Please go out and cop that. Peace.
Big Wahala.
Big Wahala Insta, Big Wahala on Twitter. Just like to say, just having of that discussion, that as of April 2019, there's still 112 of the Tubok girls that was missing. I don't know what the number is now, but it's 2019. I don't know what you're thinking. It was happened 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, good while.
I'm still saying right now, bring back them girls, man. That's never stopped. I've never stopped forgetting about those girls that got missing. Never ever stopped.
How many was there?
274.
There's still about a quarter missing.
Sounds like a half to me, but that's a shame.
Yeah, because I heard a report about it maybe 4 to 6 months ago. So
bring them back, man. Bring them back.
Shame. But anyway, this is Mr. Wolf. You can catch me on Instagram, aka Mr. Wolf, on Twitter, aka _Mr. Wolf. I'll see you next time. I can't be bothered.
Wow.
Courtney.
Me.
The blessing of the pod.
Hurricane Kourt.
Yes, as long as you talk on the mic, do your socials.
You were on Hurricane today, though.
I would no. Today was mellow though, guys. We were talking about some deep stuff. Thank you to ESN Pod for having me. Hashtag ESN Pod to join the conversation.
As I always say.
Jump in my mentions with shit and I will ignore you or I will embarrass you. So it's up to you what decision you want to make. You can find me on the socials at KourtWils on Twitter and Instagram. Nice in uniform for your asses, and I'll see you next time.
Are you still on hiatus on Twitter?
I am. Twitter's a bit much, you know. The other day I tried to voice simple opinion and someone jumped down my throat, so I thought, nah, I'm going to take a break again. I'll be back soon.
And don't people do that on Instagram?
What's that?
Yeah,
like,
no,
jump down your throat?
absolutely.
Because I heard some people like,
I've deleted my Instagram before. I've deleted the Twitter app is not on my phone at the moment.
No, you
I'm logging in via web.
deactivated. You didn't delete.
No, I deleted the app off of my phone.
Oh, the app. Okay.
Yeah, so.
I love when people talk big like, yeah, I deleted it, man. I deleted the app.
No, I deleted that app.
Your account's still there. You remember your password.
Yeah. Eventually, I'll have the mental fortitude to deal with idiots, but at this point in time, I don't.
Okay.
So
don't worry about them bastards.
I won't. Don't worry.
Bastards.
Gang in him.
I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. My Stavros Says this week is the Netflix movie Dolomite Is My Name.
I watched that yesterday.
I also watched that
I
yesterday.
heard that was very good,
I watched
actually.
it like the day after it came out, man.
Yeah, I was waiting for the missus to watch it.
10 out of 10?
No. But it's good. It's enjoyable. Everyone's saying Eddie Murphy is back. The actual film Twitter is saying Eddie Murphy is in the conversation for an Oscar.
For this particular film?
For they say everyone knows he's not going to win, but they talk about there's 2 tiers in it. It's nomination and could you win? And they're saying that he should be in the conversation for being nominated, definitely. And not just Oscars, for all the other it's award season coming up soon.
I didn't realize it was based on a true story.
Yeah, you don't know Rudy Raymore?
I'll give you.
You don't know Dolomite?
I know Dolomite, but I didn't realize. See, you have to understand. Yeah, I know Dolomite. I know. I'm Joe Blow. You should be paying me. I know all of that, yeah? But what I didn't know was the fact that this was a movie that was just made by mans that were just like, shit, let's just make a movie.
Bruv, does that look like anybody put money behind that film?
But again, you say that, but if you look at a lot of Quentin Tarantino's early movies, they were all kind of like that. They all kind of had that kind of this real kind of thing.
No.
Machete, for example.
Bro, Machete is meant to be like that.
Yeah,
this is the point.
But this is Dolomite happened how many years ago?
Yeah, and it was meant to be like that.
Okay, all right. No. They just couldn't afford to do
what they wanted to do
better. Go on YouTube and watch the supercut of when you see the boom mic actually in the shot of the.
Yeah, I saw all of that.
Anyway, so I'll read the synopsis. Eddie Murphy portrays a real life legend, Rudy Ray Moore, a comedy and rap pioneer who proved naysayers wrong when his hilarious, obscure kung fu fighting alter ego Dolomite became a 1970s blaxploitation phenomenon. So it's on Netflix. Everyone should watch it. It's enjoyable, and Eddie Murphy is back to form. Thank
Amen.
God.
Yeah, he's dancing his proper uncle though.
Yeah. When I saw him dancing, I said, "Look at Uncle. He looks like one of my uncles." I could blur the face. I wouldn't know which one of my uncles it was. But
what's his name?
Wesley Snipes
Wesley Snipes stole the film. He stole the every scene he's in. He stole the film.
He smashed it.
Yeah.
We're talking about Netflix and film tour and everything. Yeah, you know, next week Friday,
The Irishman.
I've got my tickets for The Irishman.
I'm
gonna watch it at Everyman Cinema.
3.5 hours.
What is it? This Irishman?
Is it 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
Jesse Christie.
What are you not talking about? What is this?
Okay, this is the
don't know what The Irishman
this
is?
is the new Scorsese with your boy Pesci, with your boy Tarantino. Oh, sorry, De Niro and Pacino.
Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Robert De Niro.
All in the same film.
In the same film.
And it's called The Irishman.
What's the first...
It's a true story, isn't it?
About, what's his name?
Paddy.
No, don't worry. But if you watch the teaser trailer, it says, Psh, Academy Award winner, Robert De Niro. Psh, Academy Award winner, Al Pacino. Psh, Academy Award winner, Joe Pesci. It's like, damn, Academy Award winner director. What's his name?
Scorsese,
the one that's cussing Marvel at the moment.
Wow.
So
I'm so hyped.
3.5. So it's coming out next week. This week as you're listening to this. If you're listening to this as it comes out at the end of this week, and then 2 weeks later it's coming out on Netflix.
It just sounds.
But I'm not gonna be in the country, so I said I have to watch it.
It sounds like it's gonna be a
It's a gangster thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be a Godfather mixed with Casino.
Yes, because they do a de-aging thing. So the three actors are obviously they're all in their 70s and whatnot, but you see them portrayed from their 20s upwards. So they act and then they do the same thing that they did with Samuel L. Jackson in the thing where they look young.
Okay.
Wow, I'm so I'm properly looking for. This is the next film I'll be looking forward to since the Joker. But anyway, let's go.
Yeah, because Quentin's far. Bye, guys.
Oh wow,
this guy's moving.
Webs.
He's doing his laundry.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't saying nothing, say well.
Slag for life.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bang, da, da, dang. I have arrived.
Waste no time. Let's take this picture.
La, 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 la.